it happening?
I think that's the thing. Hey! There we go.
Hi.
My
Hey,
God.
folks.
Oh my god.
Hey guys, I managed to break it within like 10 seconds.
I'm proud of you.
It's fine.
Okay.
I'm really good at
Question.
technology.
Chat, give us your questions.
Yes, it's so nice to see everyone. We are
Oh my
going to do a bit
gosh.
of a Q&A to get started, so if anyone's got any questions, feel free to put them out in chat. We can talk about character creation, since we all just did that super recently.
This is a really good time for it, though, because we also haven't really used... Well, okay, we've used some of our character abilities, but we haven't used, like, all of them, really.
No.
Not all of us have even shown what we actually are yet.
I cast
That's
two
true.
spells.
Ooh,
I cast
Frost
no
from
spells.
Fire. Frost from Fire asks, "What was the thing?" Ah, no, it scrolled away.
I'm excited
that
that's most
excited
about
you most?
Ravnica.
Thank you. It was like my chat decided
Locked
to
it on.
suddenly start auto going.
Should we go down the
Let me
line
use
from the
Goblin.
beginning and go all the way
Oh
down?
yes, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
do
a
it
good
that
idea.
way.
Yeah.
Start
Jimmy?
with Joel then. Oh, start with
Start
me.
with
Okay.
me.
Yeah, throw it, Jimmy.
Jimmy.
Oh,
Go, Jimmy.
okay. So goblins. Next.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, go. Short and
It's
sweet.
funny because mine was Loxodon's, because, I mean, elephant person. You can play an elephant! This is beautiful! Okay. And also, more druid class options are good, too.
Yeah.
Wars.
Even though I'm not playing one, Minotaurs are awesome. That was my second pick, and if I was going to be a Minotaur, and I decided to go with 8 hands for feet, which, you know, still sort of cool. I really like the idea of the entire planet being one city. And then, like, kind of all the mafioso-esque things that happen between all the divisions, and, like, the intrigue and things like that. Yeah, I like that portion of it.
Well, I also
Matt?
love the... Well, I also love all the races and such. I have to say, as a Magic the Gathering player, I've already in love with the guilds, and just playing a character from any of them. Literally, I could throw a dart, I'd be excited to do it. They're also interesting to me.
I also really like the guilds. I haven't been a huge Magic player, at least not for like a really, really long time. But I like how each of the guilds sort of has their own personality and focuses, and while I was reading through the book for the first time, I was getting ideas for a character from pretty much every guild. So that was... They're really inspiring, I think, is one really cool part of Ravnica.
Yeah. Mine is just centaurs. It's pretty obvious. Yeah, all
Simple
of the new
people.
race options are just awesome. I mean, I'm a big fan of gigantic, strong women, and so I really battled with doing a Minotaur or Centaur, and I was like, you know what?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go the Centaur.
You just picked the bigger option. So there you go.
Yeah, it's one
I
way.
need to go for more legs.
Contrary 1313 wants to know who is actually Demir in disguise.
Ooh.
I mean,
Ooh.
can anyone really answer that question?
I think
Not
Really?
yet.
I will say though,
Find out.
I
I
think
will
it's
say, Suniva
Yeah, it's gonna be
definitely
Joel.
actually has some history with the Demir. So
Uh-oh.
Ooh.
yeah, I'll toss that one out there.
That's the
I'll
thing.
say I'll
Um,
say that
Vipe.
Izzet is not Malakar's first guild.
Oh.
Okay.
Ooh. Oh
Okay.
man, juicy character stuff now.
I'm
Right?
looking at anything away about mine. Nope.
Viper
Find out.
718 wants to know why Samwise is playing the best character.
Well, that's not fair.
Just because she picked the best one. I mean, we
Accurate.
didn't really have a choice in
We're
that.
all fans of Suniva.
We're all the
stand
best.
Suniva. Yeah.
Yeah.
Aw.
Okay.
How
What's
do you
your
all
favorite
stay so
thing so
beautiful?
far about your character? Which one should we
Ooh,
choose?
that's a good
Character
one.
to your right. Okay, so that's...
Wait, what was it?
Character to my right.
Wait. On screen right.
Wait,
there
is
we
it
go.
right on
Yeah, I was gonna say, like,
On screen right. So I got the wall. The wall has been comforting and stable.
So you're me.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so I guess I'll go first.
Yeah, go, Jimmy.
Okay, so first of all, the nose pun from last session was hilarious.
That was
above all,
amazing.
that was great.
Oh, come on, trust me to make elephant nose pun.
But I do love everything that's been mushroom-based and tea-based thus far. And I don't know what's happening.
Sorry, my cats were
okay?
doing something behind me, and I heard a
I heard
crash.
that.
And the only
I heard,
things
like, a
behind
box
me are
fall.
sewing machines, so I was a little worried. It's fine.
Yeah. I dug the entire like mushroom tea thing, and I'm very intrigued to see to learn more about Katrin. There we go.
Me too. No, she's one of those characters that I'm meeting as everybody else does.
Oh, yeah.
She's like every night after we play. I've just been thinking more and more about her afterwards, and then so that's when I figure out all the rest of the stuff. So I can't wait to see what else comes next. I gotta say I love that accent. That accent got me.
Oh,
I think we all love that accent.
Everyone is crazy
that's
about
my favorite
Cyrus,
thing.
bro.
It's
That's my favorite thing in this game, period.
Good. I'm very glad for that. Malachar, I think, well, at least as Cyrus, he's been most impressed by Malachar's effectiveness, especially for someone that lower level down in their own, I guess, as a wizard or whatever. Very surprised that like he hasn't had to do all of the work, and that Malachar has been very useful. So I think that Cyrus is he likes that. He likes that about Malachar.
Ooh, I'll jump on the as character. I think Malachar appreciates Suniva's positivity because on a morale level, he's seen too many projects fail and literally explode because people got cynical and nasty. So he appreciates that.
Aw.
Also, he really likes how the two Selesnya people don't try to shove it down his throat.
I mean, you know, eventually we'll all be united in the love of the world soul, so there's no rush.
Oh no.
Exactly.
Let's see, both Suniva and Sam are super excited just about how badass and powerful Krav is. Like, Suniva's, you know, they're a monk, so they're into, you know, martial arts and physical defense and fighting and stuff, so they can recognize, you know, game recognizes game, and they want to see, they're excited to see what Krav brings out.
Me too. Okay, Krav for sure, like, the stunt that Strum pulled on, you know, distracting the guards with that rolling blood fest or whatever it was. I will say, Krav, she may not have shown it, but she thought that was the funniest shit ever.
Oh, I
She
can
loved that. She admires your ballsiness, that's for sure. You know, because everyone that she's been around is kind of serious, and so someone who can just be like, yeah, I don't care, let's just get crazy. I like it. Krav likes it too.
So I saw one in the chat that I saw one that I liked, which was, does your character have any hobbies in their quiet time?
Oh yeah.
You want to talk about some hobbies?
I can tell you about
So,
Krav's. It's super cute.
Yeah, go,
Oh,
Bravo.
tell us.
Okay, so
Let's go
Krav's
opposite way
whole
this
thing,
time.
she had like some downtime because she was done training, and so she started picking up like knotting, if that makes sense. So she would knot grass and yarn, and she'd essentially like make friendship bracelets.
That's
Aw.
amazing.
And that's the cutest thing ever. Like, and
That's
so,
adorable.
so just
I
for
really,
future reference, if we ever have like a quiet moment, the Crab's like,
Oh, I love it.
That is so cute. I love it.
I now have a character goal. I need to get one of those. That is.
Yeah, same.
I
I
really
gotta
want
do it.
Katrin to
they're
have
coveted
one.
and there are few.
Yeah, I have to earn one. All right. Okay.
Yeah, she's got a lot of quiet downtime and she's a cutie. All right.
Cool.
Yeah, this direction.
Yeah, let's go, Sam. Yeah,
Ooh,
we'll go
okay, go Sam. Yeah.
Okay, well, I mean, as a monk, Suniva gets proficiency in an instrument, so they totally like to spend some downtime hanging out in, like, their Verdani, which is what Celestia call, like, their home town, village, whatever, settlement area. They like to just chill out, you know, around nature and jam, usually with themselves, but they don't have an instrument with them here, so my goal is to get one. And then maybe me and Strum can rock out one day.
Always.
And
now, Malakar.
Yeah. Malakar has
Other way.
2 hobbies. Malakar has probably 2 hobbies. The one that you probably wouldn't expect is he likes to practice really fine calligraphy, just like making really fancy swooping letters, and having a lot of different ways he can write, because there's more than one fancy style. You don't just practice one. The other one that you probably would expect.
It's very peaceful.
Yeah, it's very peaceful. It's kind of his quiet time. The other one you probably would expect is he likes integrating all his tools unnecessarily into like his backpack apparatus.
Oh.
He likes everything to be part of one thing, even if it really doesn't need to be, or actually makes it less useful. Yeah, it just gives him joy.
Just like put
That's
like a
amazing.
pocket watch somewhere on it, and just like just it's on the backpack.
Yeah, it just clips on, makes the Zet insignia, and he's ready to go out the door.
Oh, I like
That's wonderful.
That's
I
so
love
cool.
it.
All right, I'll go. I think I alluded to this a little bit with Cyrus last week. He likes to gamble a lot, so he doesn't necessarily hold on to cash all that well. It tends to slip through his fingers rather quickly. But gamble and drink, I think, are Cyrus's 2 favorite pastimes, and a nice fine whiskey is the way to his heart.
Yeehaw.
Yeah.
Katrin has she likes to create art. She mostly paints like delicate vases, but she also likes to make sculptures from plaster and earth, and she uses her druid craft to actually help make the materials that she uses to make her paints and her brushes and stuff like that. She uses like all natural everything, and yeah, she as a druid makes her own stuff. But she actually, her goal, and I can tell you this because she's already said it at one point or another, but her goal is to open up an art gallery with all her stuff so everybody can come see the pretty things.
Aww,
That's so cute.
I love that.
I
Pretty
support
mushroom.
this so much.
What?
I said I support this so much.
Oh my god. That was
Oh, and
cute.
so there's no surprise that Strum is a bard, and he likes to play music, which hasn't really come into play yet, but he will very soon. But outside of that, he just likes making friends. Whether it's like over a few ales, whether it's like at a lunch break, he just likes chatting with folks and mingling. That's his whole thing. He likes, like, kind of alluded to it in the previous session with the like, hey, maybe we shouldn't upset the people who are beneath us whole motif. But he just likes making friends. That's his thing.
That's the cutest hobby ever. God, I love all these people.
A true social goblin. That's basically what he is.
Awesome.
Alright, let's find
I know
another
there's
one.
more in here.
I saw someone ask just recently, what is your character's most favorite snack?
Oh,
Okay.
I saw another person ask if you want to hold off and wait on this one. What is something non-race or class related that you can tell about your character?
okay.
Like even just like a tiny little tidbit, like their favorite colors
sure.
or whatever.
Okay.
Also,
Well, I got
Gem
one.
Song.
Yeah.
Joel,
Yo.
Gem Song thinks your beard is mexy.
Well, so he is Mexi as well. He also has a very nice beard, so I'll give it to him, man. I'll give it to him.
And gorilla feet.
And gorilla feet.
Gorilla feet. Nice beard and gorilla feet.
Also, yeah.
Are they the same color?
Associated.
Yes.
Ooh.
Sure, why not? I hadn't thought about it, but sure. I hadn't really decided how hairy the feet were. If they were like hobbit hairy, actually ape hairy, or if they were like weirdly non-haired. So I don't know.
In my head, they were like hardcore ape-haired. But that's
Like actual ape
Yeah,
hair.
that's what I was saying too.
Yeah,
Sure,
Like just straight up like cartoon
So-
transplant of
Human
like
face?
his legs.
Do what? I missed that, Bravo. What was that?
Did Cyrus have like a humanoid face or like a monkey face?
Yeah. Yes. So
Humanoid?
it's humanoid, but mostly except his eyes changed because that's a result of the actual splicing. So
Dark vision.
I had no idea.
yeah. He rocks a really dope mustache, but it's hard to imagine, I guess. I think I had a thing for the like small thing that we can share, like slightly background-esque. Cyrus grew up an orphan.
Ooh.
So I was gonna keep that one. I didn't want to go with a favorite color, but yeah.
Okay.
It was just
Okay,
a suggestion.
I can tell one.
Ooh, I can tell one.
Krav does not like to fight. I can say that.
Ooh.
And I'm gonna hint at that and let that simmer, let that sit on the back burner.
Don't like to fight, but does. Interesting.
I can drop something. Strum has 3 older brothers.
Ooh.
Really? Is he the youngest?
Baby.
He's the youngest.
He's the youngest.
Oh,
Wow.
Goblin baby.
I'll give a little.
Wait,
tidbit
were they
that relates.
nice older brothers though, or were they like mean
Yeah,
goblin
too
older
much.
brothers?
Now that
Okay,
I will
sorry.
not tell.
Or were they a
that's
rock
too much,
band?
boy.
Wait, or were they a rock band altogether?
Stop asking these questions. Don't you Jimmy,
Sorry,
Oh
I'm
my gosh,
interested.
it's the Goblin Brothers.
Jimmy.
To tie that in a little bit, Katrin is also not an only child.
Ooh.
Nice.
I say child, but she's not a child. But yeah.
The only kid.
Okay, I saw
I'm
a
a kid.
question that I really liked. I don't
Yes,
remember who it was
sibling.
from, I'm sorry, but it was I think it was like something about your character that's most like you. So like you putting
Oh.
yourself into the character.
Ooh, okay.
Should we go through
Bravo, you
or
want it? No, Bravo, go.
Ooh.
You start. You liked it. You start.
okay.
Go.
I'm definitely, and my friends who know me personally knows about me, but I'm definitely really, if not overprotective of my friends, and I have, not like a temper, I guess it's a temper. I get really heated when it comes to them. Like I can take a lot of berating, but when like someone says something like slightly shady about one of my friends, I lose my mind. And so I put that, it hasn't come through, but it will, but I've put that through into Krav, that kind of like, she may not show a lot of affection just because she's like a stone cold woman, but she like, and she can take a lot of hits, but she draws the line at like, you're picking on my friends, like there's no second chances. It's like 0 to 60 for her. So I put myself, that's where Krav is fitting in me for sure.
Interesting.
I love
All
it.
right.
Oh, yeah, that's tricky though. I don't know. I think I probably more or less smile about as much as Suniva does. It's like my default. Because she's a little more unabashedly and unrestrained, cheerful and optimistic, but that was definitely something that I was like, that's an attitude that I like to have, and I like to get to sort of hyper focus and turn it up to like 15. So that's something that I really, I don't know.
Great.
I'm done.
We love it.
It's great.
All right, Nat.
I'm glad.
Let's go.
So I think the biggest thing that I overlap with Malakar is his eccentricity. I will just start dancing on street corners and singing in top of my lungs, walking down the street. Sometimes less now, admittedly, but like he's just got that. I want to do this because I want to do it, and I'm gonna do it now.
Okay. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. And I think that's a big overlap.
Oh,
What's up, guys?
Oh, it's good. Welcome, bud.
What's going on? Are we live already?
Oh yeah.
All right. Well, I just
You were
poof right in.
you
All
just
right.
walked
into
in
it,
on
man.
us sharing stuff about our characters.
Doing a Q&A.
What did I miss? Did I lose
Everything all
A lot.
anything I can use against you?
Oh no, you
You've already got it all.
Go back and watch
Really?
it.
Well, continue. Go ahead and finish that up. I'm going to get set up real quick right here, and then we'll jump into a little bit of a recap, and maybe we'll talk about a little bit of tunnel action here as we get set up.
That's right.
Cool.
good stuff.
All right.
All right,
Okay,
Joel,
on
it's
to
your turn.
Joel.
Oh, for what did I put of myself in it? Some of the guys in the chat already called me out about it. It's definitely the bourbon loving thing. I've got like it really is like a soft spot in my own heart that like I go to like bourbon festivals and stuff. Like it's a thing. I'm just gonna put it out there. I put that there.
Interesting.
Katrin actually has a couple of my things. Her affinity to kind of just like go with the flow with it's like, okay, so this is what we're doing now. Cool. I'll just keep doing that until it's time to do something else, and then I'll figure that out when I get there. She just kind of does that, and I kind of do that too. But also her, the fact that she's 100% okay with like how biology works and death and like the circle of life and that whole belief system within her guild as well. I think that I kind of relate to that as well. So yeah.
Ah, interesting. So I think for Strum, it's mainly just the need to express creativity. I personally am a kind of individual that focuses in on projects, or I end up getting distracted and focusing on other projects, and that's very much what Strum is based around. He is my creative id, is the only way of putting it. He'll either focus on something very cool, or he'll just get distracted by like, oh, that's also a very cool project over there. Let's go. So I'm basically embodying that part of me when it comes to Strum.
Cool. There was one in here that was, unless Corey, you're getting close. There's another question in here that I thought we would address.
Go right ahead.
Go right ahead. All right. So this, as someone who doesn't play Magic, and yet Ravnica being a Magic setting, this was the question. And Nat, I'm gonna have to ask you to clarify for me when it comes to the end of it. All right, bud.
Sure.
So, what color deck would you, the player, be, and your character too, if you so choose to answer? So, I know there are colors, but what are there like specific things for each of those?
So yeah, so every guild is 2 different colors put together, and then each of the colors has multiple facets to them. Like blue is ingenuity and logic, red is passion and freedom, white is order and justice. See if I can do them all. Black is ambition and death, and I'm missing a color. Have I done 5?
Green.
Green is nature and like the anti-synthetic kind of. I know those sound kind of similar. So then you put them together and you get a guild. Like a Zet is blue and red, so they take the ingenuity from blue and the creativity from red and become this eccentric, creative, inventive guild.
I see.
Yeah.
I see.
Oh, I
Simic.
found a chart.
Ooh, yeah.
Share with the class.
Yes,
Share with
please
the
share with the class.
Okay, here it comes.
I think
I
we
mean,
have a
I
chat
already know
function
my
in here,
answer for
too,
this.
But...
Yeah.
Well, then go ahead, Jimmy.
I would probably end up being a green deck, even though Strum is definitely very is-it based. I personally am a huge fan of nature. I'm a huge kind of like hippie at heart, and I personally would be vibing with the green deck above all else.
Same.
Cool.
I'm next. I'd probably end up going green, blue. Probably green, blue.
Simic.
Yeah. Katrin would be just green, I think.
So I'm gonna answer just like as if playing competitive card games, which one just goes face and is like hyper aggressive?
Mono red burn.
All right, I do that because it's not complicated, it's not flashy. All you do is smash forward and you win. Hopefully.
Yep, that's
Mountain
right.
tap, lightning bolt face, pass.
Yeah, just do that.
Until you
the
run
whole
into a
time.
blue-white deck like me.
Or me.
I wouldn't even. I'm just gonna play cards and be like, oh well, it didn't work. Go next, and then just move on.
As a DM, I have to say blue-white. Nat, what do you?
Yeah. I think as a person, I would actually have to land on is that just because I love creative and writing, but I also have that logic and thinking part. There's also like a little bit of white in there because I tend to be very considerate and community oriented. So maybe I'm a tricolor. We blue, red, white. That's Jeskai. That's me.
Cool.
They have names for all the dual colors and tricolors and stuff.
I'm actually pretty green-white in real life as well. That was actually the first deck that I put together was green-white and red-white. So I guess I like hitting things, and then hopefully it's like also plants. I don't know.
You like hitting things with nature.
Yeah. I guess. I don't know.
Like a
I
live
like the
tree.
idea.
Yeah.
I like the
Hitting
idea of like, over-encompassing like the importance of nature in the natural world, but I also appreciate the order and morality of like, the white kind of card angles. So, white, green. Yeah.
I will say, if you're big on hitting people with trees, I think most of that art is green-red.
I do also play red-white when I play Magic. So, there you go.
I'm only guessing. Looking at this chart here, something tells me, green red. Yeah, but then again, I have no idea what's happening.
Me either. So I just said whichever one is the most aggressive, just do that.
Yeah.
No complications.
This has to be a more difficult question for people who don't know Magic.
Yeah.
Like by a
It's
lot.
very confusing.
I definitely know Magic, for sure.
I based my answer solely off of what you just said here.
Yeah, I just went simple. I went simple.
Yeah.
Best way to do it.
Like, I don't know.
Okay, throw me into the tunnel. I'll give us a quick shout out to our sponsors, and we'll come back and we will do a recap. I hope you guys warm up your dice because I like to roll off for the recap.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Wait.
Oh, God.
Wait.
I'm already.
These are good notes. And who
Can you
did
just
this
pick
one?
Jimmy, please?
I'm already a bottle of wine in, Corey. Don't do this to me.
Corey,
Oh,
they're saying there's no tunnel. Just do it here.
Okay,
No,
perfect.
go.
Okay.
Do it
No
live.
problem. No problem. All right, so I just give a quick shout out. Uh-oh, I lost my notes. Here we go.
Me too. Burn them.
All right, welcome to Encounter Roleplay, where we are we're gonna be burning down Ravnica this week. I don't know. Every time I run into a game, I want to burn down the campaign setting. I'm terrible. Maybe is it the players? It's the players. It's definitely the players.
Can't be you.
Okay. So you can catch us every Monday at 5 p.m. Eastern time. I'm in Seattle, so that's 2 p.m. my time, and everywhere else in the world, hashtag time zone fun. Okay, so this is episode 2 of Ravnica, the Unknown District. Last week we had an excellent section where we ran into an investigation throughout the 6th district, the 6th precinct, excuse me, and tried to identify where this conspiracy is among the guilds. And there's players on the channel right now, so I'm not going to go into too much detail more than that, but I will say that we made some good progress towards identifying where this conspiracy lies, and ended up in the sewers. Well, climbing down a manhole, and yeah, then we fell. So we shall recap it. We figure out exactly what the player's view on that is and what the character's view is, more importantly. We have 3 main sponsors this week. In fact, every week we have Fantasy Grounds. They are going to be making an appearance on this stream hopefully as soon as next week. I wish I would have had it in for today. Well, depending on player choices, we might see some combat. I'm not sure yet. But I would like that. I would like to see some combat. Battle test your characters. Beyond that, we have WaylandGames.co.uk is providing excellent minis. We got a discount with them, 20% off all minis and figurines for your Warhammer 40k and D&D needs. They are fantastic. They have some pretty good shipping rates for international as well. So 20% off, you can't beat it. If you're a painter like me, you got to get in there and you got to get them when they're cheap, because you're just always running out of new minis to paint. After that, we got tabletop loot. We all have a terrible, terrible dice addiction. You guys? Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Terrible dice addiction?
It's a problem.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm looking at
tabletop loot
most of these right here are tabletop loot, and this is not even a third of my collection.
Oh, my God.
No.
Yeah. I'm probably looking at $200 worth of dice on my table right now.
You know, tabletop loot backed me when I first started getting into D&D Twitter and started streaming, and they do a great job of community outreach with all of the streamers out there and with all of Twitter in general. And, you know, I can't say that I've come across a better dice company to work with. So every 20 retweets, we do a giveaway on the channel in the chat. So put us out there and let's get a giveaway going. Okay. That's about the spiel. Thank you for joining us again for episode 2. And we are going to be starting a new habit this time. We are going to be naming our episodes off of the memorable moments. So make sure you get a clip and post it up on, just make a clip of the Twitch and submit in the chat during the stream. And we will be picking the name of the episode based off what your suggestions are. Last week's episode, The Nose Knows.
Yes.
Yes. That was
You just made me so happy.
That is great.
So we're going to be rolling in. Let's go. Who wants to do the recap? And by I mean wants, I really mean who wants to roll the right number. So closest to my roll is going to, I'm not going to tell you what my roll is. Closest to my roll is going to do the recap. If I roll a natural 20, I'm going to pick someone. If you roll a natural 1, it's you. Okay.
Oh,
roll your d20s. Who's going to be the one on camera?
I got a 10.
I got a 14.
16.
20?
16.
So we got a 20, we got a 10, 5, 16. Krav?
12.
14.
12. And Katroon?
12.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought that was Suniva speaking.
No.
My little video line here. Okay, well.
No, Suniva has 16. Oh, it's
It was a 2. So that's going to be Cyrus. In character perception, as if this were a journal entry, please.
Last time on
Yes.
Learn to Play D&D, otherwise known as the Nose Knows, I met up with some interesting folk. My guild contact wasn't so happy about the situation. we have to do some investigating on our side to make sure it's not us causing any trouble. We were ordered to go over to District 10, Precinct 6, and see what we could find there. On the way over there, we ran into a small goblin baker. After some delicate convincing, he did let us know one of the actual locations where some of these missing people have gone missing. We found a young lad, Alcaris, alone in his house. Vedelkin kid. Parents been missing for a while, and from there we found a blood trail coming out the house. By some good tracking by Cat Run, our nice elephant friend lady, she tracked us down over some rooftops, and we lost the trail back over in the ravine. Now, I had the bright idea to come back over to where we found a loose grate, noticed some of the scraping on the ground there, and with some help from Malachar and Strum, we distracted the guards and were able to hop down in. Sadly, our centaur friend Krav didn't make the last couple rungs, and that's where we ended our session.
I love it.
You do every intro.
10 out of 10. 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
I'll
love
take better notes and do them
voice.
if you want. I don't mind. But I like the rolling. It's fun.
This is every
really-
character's opportunity to shine with these recaps, and it gives you a great opportunity to monologue. So I really want to showcase your characters. So it will continue to be a role, even though Cyrus has done such an amazing job on this one. And that was a great recap. I will say we did miss one high note in there. We met an NPC centaur over on the edge of
that's right, the
Deadridge
bar!
That's right.
Oh, I have it written down and I read over it. Dang it! You're right.
Chasm. Now help me out. What was that NPC's name? Did anybody write it down?
Tremira.
Tremira, because I wrote it down. So I've got like tons of names just all over the page. And didn't want to have to go through them all. But okay, so as you're climbing down the ladder, you noticed when Katrun was climbing down the ladder, it was swaying quite a bit under her hefty weight of, what was it?
Half a ton or something.
Yeah, it's a lot.
1,300
I'm only about. Yeah, I'm only about 300 or so pounds, so I'm not that heavy. But this book doesn't weigh like a feather.
I mean, you're of good build and everything, but climbing down, you have a lot of muscle on there, and you're climbing down, and it's swaying a little bit as you're climbing down. But then you throw a centaur onto this cast iron, unanchored and rusty grating, and it just gave way. Not too far from the bottom. Luckily, there is a pool of water at the bottom, so we're gonna start with Krav falling down the hole. And right as you're screaming and you're falling, and it feels like forever. You know those high adrenaline moments when your life sort of flashes before your eyes? It's getting fast. And then it's just like floating. It's super slow. And you start to glide. And you drift a little off to the side. You're not going to land where you thought you were going to land. And suddenly you just sort of gently hit the ground and bounce in a puddle and skitter off a little bit to the side. And as you look up from this in complete confusion, you see there's a little gnome pointing a stick at you.
Oh,
He says, "Hi, I'm Uzrin. And who? Wait, no, you're not supposed to be here. Who are you? What? Yeah. Who are you?"
Krav she gets up and she looks to Cyrus like to say something. She's very confused and has no meaning of saying anything because she does not know what just happened. But she's gonna look to her friends in the water really fast and just kind of point at them. And
as you look around at your friends who are standing in maybe what appears to be ankle-deep water, Yes, for those shorter fellows, it's a little bit deeper, maybe mid-thigh, and some of them choosing to swim because it's fun. You look around. The ambiance is sort of foggy and extremely humid. It is the ceiling is covered in these enormous pipes that are bolted every few feet, and you can see as they sort of jitter around, steam sort of escapes from them in bursts, and the heat seems to be radiating from them. But opposed to them, on the opposite sides of these tunnelways, you have this sort of pulsing blue energy traveling through these lines, and it kind of flickers, and then it goes back to a slow pulse and sort of sets off a strobing effect in the darkness around you. In the distance, you can hear some sort of grinding and ratcheting of gears and clanking of metal, but it just seems to be muffled by the fog in the distance. And the odor around you is sort of one of floral fungus, and yet at the same time decay and mildew, and it's a little bit, it's extremely humid down here. And before you stands this little 2.5 foot tall, is that gnome? I'm sorry, goblin. He has this major badge right in the middle of his chest. He's wearing a yellow jumpsuit with a 5-point harness, and he has a little cap on his head, and it has an eternal flame behind a slitted lantern, effectively, on the front of his cap. And he seems to be staring at all of you with this stick in his hand. With those of you who would like to roll an Arcana check, could identify probably what this is. And sure. We will start the narration. Well, we'll stop the narration there and begin with the party's confusion at their surroundings.
Malakar stands up and sees his stick and probably immediately identifies it with a 25.
I got an 18.
Judging by the slow in the descent from Krav, you recognize this to be a wand of Featherfall. And
familiar.
Yep, absolutely. I mean, this is a very common spell, especially looking at this guy in a 5-point harness. It makes perfect sense that he would carry something like this.
Yeah. Oh, well, hi there, buddy. How are you?
What? It's good to meet you. No, you're not supposed to be here. What are you doing here?
Oh, I don't know. I just came in here with these guys. But you would look, you know, that was very helpful. Thank you so much. Thank you.
How long it's going to take me to clean up this mess? Look at this. There's jagged metal shards everywhere. Do you know what would have happened if you would have fallen on this?
Oh, well, that would have been really bad now, huh?
Yeah, and now I'm going to have to repair it.
Oh, that's what you are doing down here? Repairing things?
Yeah. What are you doing down here?
Hello there, friend.
Yeah.
At this point, like,
I'm not going to give you answers. I'm not going to waste any more of your time. Look, you're not supposed to be here. If you want to leave, I'm going to escort you over to Deadbridge Camp. And if you should choose to ignore my advice, I would tell you I am far friendlier than your local denizens of this particular neighborhood.
Well, surely if you're friendly, we can have a bit of a talk.
Much work to do. I've got.
But surely you're here to be friend. Here. I'm Strum.
Oh, what is it? Strum. Hi, Strum. Urzen. What?
What's with the sadness, friend? What's got you in such a low place?
I'm already terribly behind schedule on what I've got to get done today, and now I've got to deal with a report that I've got to file about some latecomers to the party going to come bringing the ceiling down and breaking the ladders, and now I'm going to have to repair that too. So, what is it that you need?
Well, we're meant to be down here, friend.
So you know what's going on? The ladder. That's good to know.
We're meant to.
We came here doing an inspection. We're looking for and he thinks for a second. Goes, we're looking to investigate the infrastructure down here. Looking to make sure everything's above board. And of course, the other guilds. He points to the 4 people who aren't Azet. Have to assure that the Azet are giving a proper report. Make sure we're not being disingenuous in Golgari territory.
As you're saying this, he's writing, and carbon script seems to be coming out of his finger and going into a scroll case on his waist. He seems to be taking notes in some sort of shorthand while you're speaking. And yes, you are... Well, I'm sorry, what was your name again? Did you already tell me? And he's tapping his chin, and there's a little dot appearing on his chin.
I think you got something on your chin,
a
my
thing
friend.
right there. It's just right there. Friends don't let friends go around with ink on their face now, do they?
Of course not.
No.
You
So we should be on our way.
must be guild initiates. You don't seem to be used to the grind.
But you know my name. I'm Strum.
You're Strum. Yes, I've already written you down. Yes.
And you know I'm not
Is
an
it
initiate.
Ryan?
I've been here a while.
Well then, why are you wasting my day?
Well, you know that we should only be down here if we're meant to be down here. Why else would we come down here? He's just looking around to this.
Yeah, like it smells like Golgari in here. Why would he be here if we didn't need to be?
You have a writ?
Perhaps we do.
Sorry, I think I packed it in my other
some
trunk.
paperwork.
Actually, yeah,
We have paperwork. I just don't know what's on it.
As you pull out the documentation of the things that you're supposed to be going through that possibly could contain a writ, you note that you're supposed to report back to your guild pack leaders before, in fact, the proctor or your contacts before adventuring further.
Oh.
Awkward.
Well, now, who didn't read that part?
Oh, it was in my other trunk. Can you see us out?
She's so clumsy and forgetful. It happens all the time. Don't worry about it. It's normal.
Right this way. I have to get your name for my report, though. And you were yes, you right there, you Yazet.
My name's Varix.
Varix. Is that with 2 Ks?
X. V-R-I-X.
An X. Okay. You know, big old flourish on the X. and you are. And he
You
takes
already
down,
know who I am.
Does anybody wish not to? Does anybody wish not to give their name as Malakar has chosen to do?
Yeah,
Oh, my name is
Malakar lied
Suniva.
without even blinking.
Yeah. No, I'm good. Cyrus Elsvolt at your service.
He makes a flourish,
what?
and there's a sparkly thing off of his finger as he bows to you, Cyrus.
Oh, well, my name is Katrin, don't you know?
Don't you know? My name is Suniva of the Celestia. It is very nice to meet you.
Suniva, it is wonderful to meet you as well.
Oh, certainly, that's so nice.
It is.
I like your
I
harness.
apologize. I can be quite rude. I should always remember my pleasantries, no matter what kind of hurry I am in.
Oh, that's very
I
kind of
agree.
you to say. But you understand, I mean, we came here surprising you in the middle of your work day, and I mean, I could certainly understand how that is, just totally off-putting.
I'm sorry, they're just really breathing down my neck about quotas this week. Let's keep going. Who else?
Rob kind of.
He begins counting you with a finger. We're gonna have to start over. Never mind. It's good enough. Let's go. It's this way. And he starts trundling off at a rapid speed and down the hall and doesn't seem to be looking over his shoulder and waiting for you. Do you follow?
Yeah.
Wait, how serious was the
Absolutely.
go back and report thing?
Well, it was part of the
We'll do
initial to investigate and return and report in. and it was part of the packets. It was not something that. I mean, it's completely at your discretion. You are the investigators. You are the party.
Sure.
It was part of the implicit instructions, though.
That's not going to count.
Hey, Kraul
No.
wasn't given any instructions. She's not gonna get in
Roll won't
trouble.
either.
Yeah, I think for Cyrus, he needs to try and find that kid's parents, because any second wasted is another second they're probably dead.
I agree.
So, yeah, okay.
The way, King.
Let's zip away.
Yeah, I think we attempt to slip away, everyone. All right, yeah, I think
Yeah,
that's
I'm in.
the call.
Okay.
Sure.
He heads off in one direction.
The
and
elephant.
you sort of just easy come, easy go. Turn around and walk the other direction.
Okay.
Into the city work.
I was
Hey,
actually going to try to be a little more involved with that, but that works apparently.
Sure. If you wish to make a stealth roll, you could perhaps hide your passage if you do not wish them
Oh,
to track
God.
you down.
Oh yeah, let's do it. I just want to roll some dice, man. Let's go.
I've got
Yeah, I'll
proficiency
be
in stealth, so
sneaky.
I'm happy with it. Oh, maybe I'm not happy with it.
What did you do?
It's a 10.
I have 15.
He's over there graffiti on the wall.
Yeah.
Oh, that was really good. Oh,
24.
It's
Ooh,
branding. 24, 24,
19.
10, 19.
15.
I don't know how, but it happened.
Suniva?
I rolled 24.
Oh, yeah, okay,
Okay.
perfect. All right,
I got
so
17.
17. Nobody rolled below a 10.
Haha!
No.
Well,
Sneaky party.
Strum being the lowest is over there scratching his branding thing, right? I mean, if people don't know your name, they can't know you.
Stra.
With a loot underneath, just as an underline.
No other indication whatsoever of which direction you went. It's just Strum on the wall. Been there for years. You didn't know? Haven't you heard of Strum? He's been here for a while.
Yeah.
Kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to blow my own trumpet, so to speak. I've just been here.
When we get a little bit away from him, I want to approach Cat Run real quick. Just like, hopefully we're not super far out of the vicinity of that initial area, because we had seen the grate being moved. So it makes me think that, because we don't want to lose the trail if there's potential for it to be down here.
So
Right?
it is a rather it's a really good place to get lost. We'll put it that way. There are a lot of tunnels that loop back on themselves, and they look a lot like other tunnels. There's standard flooring. In some places it'll be stone slabs, and others it's going to be rusty metal grating over the top of a black, slow-flowing sludge.
DM.
Other tunnels have a quick-moving, more of a light neon greenish tint, water moving off away from the direction you're coming from, moving away from you.
I will ask, as both myself and Malika are, is it engineers? Are we able to navigate a little bit more clearly? Are we able to get a better understanding of these sewer networks?
Yeah.
I will allow you.
If Big
I will
Deal
allow you
Strum leads
because
us,
you
we get
have
like advantage.
engineering. Not advantage. I will allow you to use survival without
Ooh, okay.
taking an actual map, but to just understand how these city works are constructed. It's very similar to like maybe a favored terrain, functionally similar. Okay. In fact, that's a great rules opportunity. So if I think we're going to make a call on that one. Nat, you want to go through and describe favored terrain real quick?
So favorite terrains are a ranger feature. You pick a favorite terrain, and that gives you. This is one of the ones that doesn't come up as often. I want to say you get expertise on survival in your favorite terrain, and advantage on. No, that other one's favorite enemy. So you get expertise on survival, when navigating your favorite terrain. I believe also you just can't become lost if we're going to be technical about it.
Which
There's some advantages.
Except via magical means.
Yes, that's fair. I will say, and for the sake of these tunnels, you understand the city works, their purpose and their intent, and you understand how to read the writing on the wall, both figuratively and literally. You would know that the fast-moving currents are going towards cisterns, for example. Roll me a survival check to determine a little bit of the environment around you and to maybe gauge which direction you should be traveling.
Very happy with that.
It's a number, I assume.
A number.
Is it just me that's rolling, or is it me and somebody else?
Is there anybody else who is that?
Well, I got a natural 20.
Oh, problem solved.
A natural 20.
So
yeah. So the slower moving black sludge is kind of going for processing and is going to be dumped into the subterranean aquifers that sort of connect the various oceans of the world. The fast-moving currents will be recycled into drinking water for Ravnica above. The blue pulsing and flashing conduits on the ceiling are an arcane matrix to a transference of information through arcane means, and the steam pipes are what powers the machinery of the Undercity. So if you are headed to one of those types of locations, you could potentially navigate your way through the city work.
Okay, good to know.
You would know that there are several different types of creatures that make their home in the city works and the sewers below. The Golgari are known specifically for inhabiting the under sort of hive-like conditions of the area, and the dense air along with the moisture is good for their breeding grounds. Also, the Simic have laboratories down here, as the readily available water sources help them in their experiments. That's about what you know topically, and we'll delve further into that with more specific inquiries. I would like to get you guys to, I don't know, where are we headed from here? We've slunk away into the darkness.
I think at this point, Catherine's going to try to pick up the trail again.
I know that we did want to take a short rest. I do remember that.
Ooh, yeah.
We should probably get out of
for
this place before we do first, though.
As the person who needs it, I don't think that now is the time.
Okay.
Oh. Oh, and Jimmy just walked away. He said no.
So
okay.
so does so Cat run off to try to pick it up?
So yes, absolutely, you can roll to try and pick up a trail that seems to be coming out of the top of here. So you're looking for where the trail went within the sewers, not the blood trail as you were searching for above, correct?
Correct. I'm looking for scent trails for the parents. I don't think that blood would be something that would be easily picked up through all the sand water. But...
if you recall, the blood trail led across the city and went to the edge of Deadbridge Chasm, and over the edge, the invasion victims are being taken to Deadbridge. There was no way to climb down the hill, so you doubled back and went into the sewer entrance.
Okay.
Oh, so you want to head to Deadbridge Chasm?
Totally forgot. Yeah, I totally forgot that. That's my bad.
It sounds right now.
So why are we in the sewers again?
Because we couldn't climb down. Closer. Yeah, we couldn't climb down the chasm safely with everyone.
Yeah, we couldn't access the bottom of Deadbridge Chasm from the top of Deadbridge Chasm. We had to take the long way.
Deadbridge Chasm actually stretches far below the level that you are at now. It's very, very deep. It goes all the way down to the subterranean oceans. The creatures that live in there are actually living in the honeycomb-like cliff face. The crawl. You did find out through your investigation that it appeared that all of the invaders were coming out of the sewer.
Right. Okay.
So there is a trail to be found here of the attackers, not of the victim, though.
Gotcha. So I'm looking for the attackers' smells. Any smell that smells like scents that I found around the house that weren't the occupants of the house.
Okay. Give me a roll,
Right.
a survival, and you have advantage for scent.
Oh, right.
Thank you, Lobster.
I got a 15 and a 19. So for, you said survival, I'm going to add just my +3 for wisdom and then +2 because I'm proficient. Nice. So that would be 24.
Nice.
Dead on. That is a very nice roll. You have a solid
Advantage.
You have a solid understanding of what it is that you are tracking at this point. It smells of oil and acid. It smells of excrement and food, both. And it smells of pheromones. Heavily of pheromones. There's this chemical scent to the air that's so thick you could almost taste it as you begin to pick up this trail.
This guy was wearing way too much perfume, you guys. Oh boy. Okay, let's follow this trail.
You got me. It's the aftershave demon.
I knew it.
Always that guy. Whenever you go to a club.
Damn it, Carl.
That barbarian
Okay, so-
spraying axe everywhere.
Oh,
That one was
Oh, that's
multi-layered.
yes.
Let it sink in for a
Yes.
minute.
the axe references, I knew they were coming. So, there's always that guy. I try not to be that guy. I really try not to be that guy. Okay, so you pick up a scent, and it comes from a sort of westerly direction. And it's actually kind of strong off in an easterly direction as well. But you sort of direct everybody down a westerly direction towards where you think that they were traveling from. Maybe you can get back to the source of why they're venturing out. Maybe they've doubled back at some point. And in fact, after you've gone maybe 100 yards down the tunnel, you do pick up the scent of the parents again.
Oh, that's interesting. There's those humans came through here. Let's go this way.
All
And you know
right.
there is not
Right here.
any blood on the floor. You can see where the ankles have been drug through the muck on the bottom in your survival check, not just by scent, but you can visibly see where they have been drug through the hallways or through the tunnels. And after probably 20 minutes of going down various tunnels and following this trail, you come to an area where you can hear the pouring of a cistern. It's just this roaring thunder as water just falls and swirls in upon itself and is pulled down to the lower levels of the sewer. The water seems to pick up beneath your feet, and in fact, the stone pulls back to the sides, and you're walking on nothing but iron mesh. It is rusty over the top of this fast-flowing current. It sort of gives you pause, but it doesn't flex too much underfoot, and even Krav is confident that this isn't going to give way under any immediate circumstances.
I got worried again.
I was just looking at my ankle again, like, oh gosh.
Kraul does not want to fall again.
I was gingerly walking down the hallway, just sort of like tap every few steps. And you got that nose just kind of out in front of you, sniffing around and picking up this scent as it's drug across the grating. And across, you step to the edge of this room, and it's maybe 45, 50 feet across, completely circular, with a 15-foot black void that froth is just coming up out of in the center of it. Water is swirling, and it's almost at a 45-degree angle. It's just really pouring down into this thing. Very quick moving. There are 4 other pathways, a total of 5 entrances into this chamber, and the metal grate in the center of the room is actually clear with a sort of busted metal railing going around the edge. I say busted because some of the railings are not 100% intact. They're sort of falling in on themselves, and some of them are missing entirely. There is a ladder that descends down on each section of wall between the passages into a sort of cutout in the metal grating of the floor and goes down into the water. Perhaps this is used for cleaning of the works while the water is gated off somewhere else. And across from you, in this room, in the darkness, you see this sort of monstrosity move.
Oh,
you see one leg as just sort of comes out, and then you see this sort of like Triceratops-like helmet lean forward out from the steam from behind him, and he has these multicolored squiggles and between reds and blacks and bright greens across his face, and he has a very like corpse-like face and almost skull-like with hanging teeth, and he steps out fully into the light that comes from above in the grating that is there, and he has a humanoid torso and 4 pointed legs, and he walks across and sort of skitters into the iron grating, and he shouts something in this clacking guttural tongue that you can't quite make out, and gestures towards you. And from the darkness on the other 4 tunnels, sort of smaller, less bulky in head versions of the same guy step out. One of them behind you sort of begins ushering you into the room at spear point. Roll for initiative.
Oh god!
Oh, here we go.
Oh, it's our first initiative.
First initiative. You're right.
This is our first initiative.
First combat.
That was almost a natural 20,
Right.
and then it like hit the side of the tray, spun, and turned into a 5.
There is nothing good near the 20. If it's almost a 20, you know it's going to be bad. Every time.
I mean, there's a 14.
What are your modifiers? What are your modifiers? Because you make your roll
Only
and then
a
you
2.
add things to it. So you have a 5 on the
3.
die and 2. So
Yep, that's my modifier in action right here. Get this.
roll. That is 7 with the blinking
7.
plus 2. True, that is a 6 with a blinking 1.
Oh my. Well, mine turned out better than that. I can't do it with all the hands. I rolled a 19 and I have a +3. So that's the modifier.
Make it work.
Yeah,
Make it
so
work.
22.
Put your toes up
22.
there.
22.
I actually have the exact same. I got a 19 and
Yeah.
+3 dex.
Nice.
All right. Malakar is 22, and you have a what dex? You have a +3 modifier, so you have a 16.
Yeah. Yep.
And Cyrus, what is your dex?
+3.
+3. Both +3. Excellent. So I'm going to have you each roll off, and it's natural die, no modifiers. Whoever rolls lower.
13.
7.
7. Okay, so Cyrus will take the initiative order before Malakar. And then let's see. I need Suniva.
Yeah, I rolled 15 plus 3, so 18.
And we need Krav.
I have a 14 with a dex modifier of 1, so 15.
15. All right, perfect. So, and when we get into Fantasy Grounds, there won't be any handwritten initiatives anymore, and it's going to move so much faster. I can't wait. Just a little plug for the awesome.
What to do?
And
This is where we lose 3 party members, and the other 3 run away and die.
well, I mean,
This is where we learn to read our paperwork.
What did Uzran say to you?
Suniva, like, stopped listening halfway through, so...
That's totally on brand.
Katrin's not confrontational, so she didn't really want to, like, be that stick in the mud. So she just kind of was
All right. I am going to roll them as a group.
Oh god.
30.
As a group?
Yep, here we go.
It just makes it easier, I find.
It does. Until they all focus one person down and we're all dead.
No,
How
they
many
wouldn't
do
do
we
that.
see?
I'm willing to guess that each one could knock me to 0 in one hit.
Same.
Let's not take that bet.
How many of them are we able to see right now?
There are
4 in the big
there
one?
seems to be one leader type with more of a crest and coloring on his face, and then there are 4 from coming from different paths behind you.
Oh, behind us.
Oh,
okay.
I don't like this.
1 from behind you, 3 from other directions, and 1 from almost directly across to the left from you. And you are being ushered into the room with 1 at your back with a spear. Okay, so at the top of the round, because they haven't made an all-out assault and they are trying to push you, there will be no ambush round. So we will start with Cyrus.
Oh, good. I get to take full advantage of my, rogue sneak attack being out in the open and surrounded by enemies already. All of this feels really good. Oh, this is
Hey, you
this
can
is
still
not
get sneak
okay.
attack if one of your You
Right.
can still get
Do
sneak
I?
attack if one of your people's next to the person you're attacking.
So
Yeah.
one of them was trying to
Alex,
push us
right?
like a spear. Is that one next to somebody?
Right. That's what I was going to ask. So, DM, how close are they to me and my companions?
They have long spears, so they are about 10 feet away.
Okay.
Sexy.
All right. And how far away is the big one?
It is about 50 feet away from you because you're right on the edge of the room and it's almost completely across from you off to your left.
Okay. All right.
So it would probably be 45 feet one way, 55 feet the other way.
Yeah, heck it. I pull my bow out and I think I have enough range with the short bow. Yep, I take a shot at the big one.
All right. Nice.
We're just gonna do it. Let's just do it.
Do it!
Let's go for
Okay.
it. See what happens.
So I've got a D20 plus 5 modifier for the roll. 16.
16.
16.
So the arrow comes flying and it just sort of turns its head and it glances right off of its like sort of armored plating coming off the back of his skull.
Okay.
He doesn't
All right.
otherwise flinch. There's a gouge where your arrow sort of leaves out of it.
So is there anywhere I can like
move left?
Yeah, is there anywhere I can move to kind of duck out of the way, maybe be out of sight? I'm trying to position for a hide.
You
You
could
don't have cunning action yet.
I don't? Oh crap, because we're level 1.
no.
Okay.
Sorry to rain on it.
You could go down one of the
No, you're
ladders.
good. You're good.
Oh crap, we're level 1. That was our last words.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Thank you. I kind of I guess I...
There's the title of the episode.
I would take steps back towards, I guess, the bigger one. Not close all the distance, but away from the spears that are directly behind us. Probably, let's say 20 feet? Is that possible?
Yes. So you could step away. They are not going to get an attack of opportunity. They will not get an opportunity attack on this round, as there are too many targets to try and point at in this scenario. That's not rules as written. That's rules as intended.
Cool. Yeah. So I take 20 feet back, and then I have no bonus actions because I'm level 1. Heck yeah.
Okay. So you sort of step back 10 feet towards the center of the room.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Perfect. You are 20 feet away from the one immediately in front of you. Next in the initiative order will be Malakar.
All right, so Malakar swings his hands in like almost a flint sparking kind of motion, and blue cold fire invokes from his hands as he casts and holds Frostbite, looking at the big one, saying, "I know you can understand me. Don't hurt him. I don't want to hurt you, but don't make me, please, please, please." And I'm readying Frostbite for if the big one goes to attack a friend of mine.
Okay. Okay. I like the held action. Did you want to move before you perform your held action?
Just kind of into the nestle myself into the middle of our group a little bit. Yeah, a little towards Cyrus.
Okay, so you are standing about 5 feet between Cyrus, 15 feet from the creature behind, and the rest of the party is sitting still right in the mouth of that entranceway to this room.
I have 8 HP. I want them between the monsters and me.
That sounds pretty wise to me. Okay, Katrun. I'm sorry, no, that would be Sanima.
Oh, okay. So I am going to... Most of them are behind us, right?
Yes. No.
Oh.
There is one behind you. There is one in each of the other 4 entrances, the one across from you being the sort of leader of them.
Okay. So there's not really a good area where Suniva could try to put themselves like just between my party and these Kraul.
You would know them as Kraul. So
I think you said that's what they were. I thought. Sorry.
No, I did not. But you would recognize them. Your character would recognize them. I wanted to.
Your description matched the description of the Kraul that we saw last week. So that was your good narrative, Corey.
Thank you. I have to be narrative for the audience as well, but mostly because I like.
Because what Suniva would like to do is find some place to sort of interpose herself between like her party and these beings, and take the dodge action.
Okay. So you sort of step in next to the spear and just kind of push it aside, stepping forward, sort of the half length of this thing.
I'll like keep my hands out, like, oh,
hello. Whoa! I think you're getting a little bit off of the wrong foot here. Pulling a Jackie Chan. I love it.
Kinda, yeah.
I love it. Okay. And so you're going to ready your action, or I'm sorry, you're going to use...
I'm taking dodge.
Dodge action, and what does that do mechanically?
Oh, that will make any incoming attacks upon me that Suniva can see at disadvantage until my next turn.
Melee attacks.
No.
I think it's just any attack that I can see, so I think it's ranged as well.
Wonderful, I love it.
It also gives you advantage on dexterity saving throws if those hopefully don't come up.
Thank you very much,
Nat. Slippery floor.
I was hoping would get brought up. It's not all that slippery, actually. It's kind of misty in here, but the metal's sort of pitted, and you actually feel like you've got pretty good traction overall.
Oh, that's good to know.
All right. Next will be Krav.
Okay. I would like to rage.
Yeah.
One of us with a bonus action.
That's probably not the best inflection to say that sentence at. Like, hee hee, I would like to rage. Okay, so let me just get my rage ability one more time. Alright, advantage on strength checks and strength saving throws. When you make a melee attack, strength, okay. Resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage. I'm going for the one behind us. So the one that
Range
was...
is yes. So you're going to turn around and you're going to step in next to Suniva?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah.
That
I'm going to go
means there
in
will
with
be-
my...
Okay.
And I'm going to go in with a two-handed Warhammer. So that means it goes from being a D8 to a D10. So I'm going to roll to hit with my D20. You better not misbehave, girl. Okay, here we go. D20. Ooh,
Roll
that's
like
a
you mean
14 plus 5. That's a 19.
19 hits! 19 hits, you just pull out your Warhammer and you go charging in immediately angry at the situation. How dare they?
How dare they? Ka-chow. That's a 3.
3 damage?
3 damage. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. That is 3 damage.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you notice as you make impact that it's sort of like it just kind of shrugs slightly and angles itself in such a way that your blow just goes right off in the chitinous armor. It's just it's like a lobster shell almost.
I can
It
respect
makes
that.
it sort of like drops its stance and sort of like tries to turn its spear towards you, but you're inside the range of its spear, and so it decides that it's going to just kind of look at you, hiss and make this clicking sound at you.
Ooh.
Okay.
Gross.
Very well struck. Strum.
Oh boy.
You are up
Okay.
next.
So, oh god. So I'm going to look at the closest one to me, and I'm just going to say, "Do you kiss your mother with that mouth?" And cast Vicious Mockery.
Yeah.
So they need to make a DC 13 Wisdom save. Which isn't
Wisdom.
good, but level 1.
Oh no, I'm sure that they can, they're the wisest of creatures. That will
Worth
be
a
an
try.
8.
that is a
Negatory.
fail.
Roll your damage.
So that is that is only 1 point of damage.
Nice.
You've wounded its
But-
pride, but
But they do have disadvantage on their next attack roll.
yes, that
And
was important.
as my bonus action, I will oh god, I will look up to Krav and say, "I'm sure you got this, don't you?" And I will give Bardic Inspiration.
Yay! That's
So,
a
there you
D6,
go.
right?
Yeah, you have a
Got this,
D6, which is applied to everything except your damage.
Thank you.
I love it. I love it.
Thank
You're
you.
just gonna tap her on the leg, and Strum's faith in your ability to do this is sort of confidence inspiring. You know what? It's good to have people look up to you sometimes.
Aww. Aww. Krav appreciates it.
Because
And with
that was really
that,
Oh, okay. I got you, Nat.
it's going to be the Kraul's turn, and then we will finish the round with Katrina.
Oh boy.
Oh no!
Okay,
Here we go.
It's
Here we
fine.
So
Hurt me.
the crested Kraul across from you, the Death Priest, as some of you might know him to be called.
Death
The Kraul Death Priest sort of steps backwards into the darkness, and the mist and the light off of it, it just sort of drifts away into the darkness.
I don't
However-
like that.
Nope.
Where's
You
that's
hear
a-
an echoing,
Peterson!
chittering noise descending as it descends down the hallway, and You hear it echoed from the other 3 tunnels, and the one in front of you throws its spear into the air and its fist into the air with its spear, and sort of makes a cheer and sets itself for an all-out assault.
Oh God!
The one directly in front of you will be going first. Is going to make an attack on Jimmy for its poor wounded pride.
Remember, disadvantage.
Yeah.
Ah!
The whole point of doing that because I was so scared.
I love this.
That was good. That was a very scary roll for the first one. So that will be. Oh, don't do that. Oh, bad one. No, bad.
Come on, Corey.
I'm so nervous, dude.
I know. Looking for his attack. There we go. Perfect. So that will be an 11 to hit.
That is a miss. My armor class is 13.
Nice.
So he spins his spear around from overhead and takes it up midway all the way and makes a thrusting direction, thrust right through where your face was a moment ago, and the spear sort of scrapes along the iron grating behind you as he retracts it, and you feel the wind as it retracts right past your face. And you hear behind you the skittering from the next tunnel to your left as it comes charging in from outside the tunnel. It would be to the left, so it's this way, and he comes charging in from behind directly to the middle of the group, which is going to be not Cyrus. It's going to be Krav front, Zuniva's front.
Be Malika.
That is going to
Malakar,
be
Kavron.
and Malakar.
Yeah.
That is going to be Malakar.
All right.
Wait, Malakar, did you get to do your thing since they attacked?
Well,
or?
okay, so I held a spell for when the big one attacked, but it left.
Oh shoot! No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
If Corey's gonna be really nice, I could shoot it at this one when it goes to stab me in the face.
You could
that's up
send
to
it
him.
into the darkness after him.
It's actually not a shoot spell; it's a saving throw. So it's just like it erupts where they are.
Yeah, it hasn't rolled back around to your turn
Dang it.
yet.
Yeah.
And you did declare a target specifically. If you had been vague, and that is a very specific aspect of the mechanic of holding your action.
Yeah.
When you declare your action, try not to specify the target, but the events under which you are going to trigger. For instance, there is a hostile move made towards the party. That means that you're going to select your target at that time. And that'll help with these going forward and anyone in the audience choosing to hold their action in the future. Thank you for the excellent learning opportunity, Malakar.
Now stab me and make me die.
Yeah.
No.
Here we go.
Come on, you're level 1. How much of a mean DM do you think I
8
am?
HP.
We're about to find out.
8
HP.
Well, let's see. That is going to be a 14 to hit.
My AC is 13.
You take 5 points of damage as this spear comes out of the darkness behind you and sort of thrust in a phalanx type attack maneuver directly through your shoulder.
Mm.
You note that the movements are precisely the same, almost trained movements of the spear thrust that went near near Strum's face.
Ow.
Okay. Next, flanking from the right side. You hear a skittering from the tunnel, and it comes charging in behind you. And it has advantage for pack tactics at this point.
Oh, pack
That
tactics.
is, however,
I know.
only a 10 to hit.
Who's
And
it?
that
hitting?
one is going to be on Katrun, who is in the
A 10
opening
does
of
not hit.
Yay!
10 does not hit. So the spear
Yeah,
goes
she just deflects it off with her staff.
Nice.
little pieces of mushroom go flying in your little garden. You're like, no! And there will be blood.
Sorry, Phil. Sorry. You'll have to grow back that one later.
So, the other two from across the divide, the other one from across the divide, seems to step out into the onto the grating from the tunnel, but does not come around the edge. Sort of waits for you to decide which direction you were going to advance, and sort of puppy guards on the far side of the room. And that will be Katroon's turn.
Well, that was very, very rude. These guys look super strong, though. So that nothing I have is gonna work very well. You know, I'm usually against fighting, but I don't like the way you're treating my friends. That's just that it won't do. One's right next to me. It just attacked me, right?
Yes, it's within 5 feet of you.
All right, then I'm gonna attempt to hit it with. Well, I'm going to grab my shield off my back and hold it up, and then I'm going to try to hit it with my staff one-handed.
Okay.
Oh, natural 20. Okay.
Oh, dang.
Oh,
It's right in the skull.
One time I need that. Okay. Oh, it is. Can you please stop that? Just get comfy. Alright. Sorry.
Okay, God.
Cat was getting cozy in a box. It was really loud. And that is 5 on dice. And question, because, and here's another learning experience, I rolled a natural 20 on an attack roll. Some tables do you roll twice the amount of dice. Some tables do you roll the same amount of dice and then double that. Which way would you prefer?
I am of the adage, because we are all dice addicts here, and we should just own our problems. More dice. It's always more dice. Twice the dice.
Okay. Yes! That was double 5s.
Nice.
So 10 plus my strength, which is 1.
Yeah.
So 11. 11 damage.
11 points
And
of
it's
damage.
bludgeoning damage.
All right. And
That'll give you a good bonk there.
that'll wake you up in the morning. Okay.
Put you
So-
to sleep.
That will bring us back to the top of the round. And Cyrus,
It's me.
with you being right at the back of the party, what will you do?
Yeah, so Malakar's like right in front of me, and right in front of him is an enemy, right?
Yes. In fact, you have both Katroon and Malakar directly in front of you. And, well, Malakar directly in front of you, and Katroon right behind him from where you are standing. And one each of them attacking, and you have reach on either one of them.
Okay. So I go ahead, since we're close quarters already. I'll go ahead and just drop the bow to the ground and draw the rapier and take a step over to the side where I can reach the one near Malakar.
Okay. You could reach from where you were standing.
Oh, can I?
Or
Okay.
you can choose to move.
If I can reach from where I'm standing, I might as well. It's fine.
If you
don't
do
mind.
step out of range of the one to your right, it could potentially.
Oh, so I'm
do
in-
not move 10 feet.
I'm
to
in
your
range
left.
of both. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Or
Yes.
okay. Then I'll
You're sort of in an overlap.
the one that stabbed Malakar is the one I want to stab back because it was very rude.
I mean, yeah, that's a vicious wound on his shoulder.
Actively bleeding.
Yep. So D20 plus 5. Come on, man. 12.
No. In fact, it's almost like its insectoid eyes are watching everything simultaneously with its facets pointing in all
Sort of roll
directions.
Sneak attack.
and it just
Okay.
sort of like dodges back as part of its twitchy movement. And it just dodges right out of the way. Okay. You want to use your movement or your bonus action to do anything?
I don't have any bonus action stuff. I don't know if there's a way for me to position myself to where Malachar can safely back away from the combatant in front of him. I don't think he has
really
any option
right
for
in
that.
between two, yeah.
Yeah, then I think I'm okay. There's not much I can do here movement-wise.
Okay. So, stepping forward from that, the next initiative is going to be Malachar.
Cut it off, you cantankerous chitinous chunk, and I shoot frostbite at the one that stabbed me. Makes a con save, DC 13.
Oh, that's not good.
That insult,
That is
though, that
really
was
not
beautiful.
good. That was a 2. That was a 2 on the die.
Alright, so he takes 1d6 cold damage. 1. And similar to Vision's Mockery, he has disadvantage on his next attack.
Excellent. Okay.
And I put my hands up, I'm like fisticuffs. Grab my stick.
this
I'm done.
this guy wants to fight. Okay.
3
Alright, so
HP.
next-
3 HP.
Oh no!
Yep, not looking good for Malachar. That's really not looking good for Malachar. Okay, so Neva.
So Suniva would have heard or seen Malachar being attacked. So they're going to turn around, see that damage get done, and go, "Oh, hey, leave my friends alone!" And they'll run over to the guy messing with Malachar, and I'm going to two-hand spear attack for my main action. And then I'm a monk, so I'm going to use my bonus action to make an unarmed attack and like take my spear out and try to elbow it in its stupid insect hide.
Yeah,
plan.
find a soft spot on its under carapace.
Yeah, after sticking the spear in or whatever. So let's see. I rolled a 15 plus 5, so a dirty 20.
That'll hit.
Yeah.
Hit a bug kebab.
Oh yeah. All right. So the spear is gonna do 5 damage. That's 2 plus 3 for my dex mod. And then the bonus action hit. Ooh, that's a natural 19 plus 5.
That will hit.
So that'll hit. And I only rolled a 1 damage, so that's plus 3, so 4. Bludgeoning, I guess? Yeah, bludgeoning.
Yep, for unarmed strike. That will
Yeah.
do. Excellent. Well struck. And very
I got
good
to punch
use of action
something!
Economy. All right. And I'm going to assume that you don't want to move your character.
Nah, I'm hoping to distract the thing from Malachar.
Next will be Krav.
Okay. That same one I attacked is still there, right?
Yes, that is the same one that, in fact, just got a brand new carapace piercing on its belly. That's not the good kind of belly piercing.
She's gonna do the same thing. She's gonna just wallop, boom, just come back on top of him with the two-handed warhammer. Good job. Ooh, baby, that's a 24. Okay.
Definitely hit.
Ooh, baby, a triple. Okay, so it's a D10. Now I know what I have to do. Thanks. Shout out to Joel for not telling me when I was rolling it first.
You know, we all have to make mistakes when we're learning.
All right, 3 plus
okay, I messed up
3,
too.
6 plus
You should see me in
2,
my first
8.
streams. 8 damage.
8
Very
damage,
nice.
baby.
Shrugged off the
Nice.
first one. Oh, you think that was easy, huh? Oh, yeah. Here, try this one. And you break out your crow's beak side of your warhammer and just really hammer it in. And deal a walloping stress fracture right across the sort of the pectoral plate of this critter in front of you. For 8 points of damage. Very nice. And he has got ooze sort of seeping from his wounds at this point and beginning to seep from areas that maybe his flesh is beginning to tear and break down in other areas. He's not looking super healthy. He's got a kind of a distant gaze in his faceted eyes, if you could say as much. Okay.
These guys.
And we are going to move next to Strum.
Okay. So I'm going to try something a little bit creative. So I'm going to pull out my lute. I'm going to start playing. You hear like an Irish rock melody, because that's the entire aesthetic of Strum. Just as Strum spins his lute around and wallops the creature in front of him with a produced flame.
With a what?
So with a produced flame. Basically, the way that I envision it is his lute kind of lights up with this orange energy as it strikes the creature.
Stage pyrotechnics all the way.
I love
a little bit
it.
of flavor. And that is that's a 19 plus 5, so 24 to hit.
That will definitely hit.
Okay, so I strike it for that's a D10, 1d8 fire damage. That's an 8.
Nice.
Happy days.
This is the one that was between you and the way you came, correct?
Yeah, this is just the one guy that's facing me.
You know what? That was some quick work on that one. You've got a skewer through him, you've got him nice and tenderized, and now he's flame roasted. That is a big bomb right off the bat.
Yeah.
Very well done. He collapses immediately under the flame, and sort of you can see the charbroiled little pieces of chitin flaking off, and sort of steaming roasted bug on the ground before you. Well, on the grill before you, as it were. And then
Strum just admires his handiwork and smiles.
That will bring us to the rest of the crawl behind you. The 3 that are still remaining. The one across the way decides that maybe this is a little more than it was anticipating, and crawls up the wall across the ceiling in this room that you're in rather than going around, and drops into the whirlpool.
Okay. Wait.
The other
we get a tax of opportunity away from it when he moves, or no?
No, this is the one that is behind, has not advanced on the party.
Okay.
He is dropped out of the combat. Then there are one each side of you flanking from the rear. They are each going to make their attacks. One against Malachar.
Disadvantage, right? Because of the blast thing that you did, and you said it was similar to the
Ice blast. Yes, but it had a 2 on that first die roll, anyways. So a 9 on the second one. With its attack modifier of +4, it is not going to connect. It actually is it plunges out with its spear and sees this enormous ball of flame erupt from the tunnel and looks over distracted, misses completely as its friend goes down. It's almost like this psychic screaming went off in his head, and he was just completely distracted for a moment. The next one is going to make an attack against Katroon. That is going to be a 15 to hit.
It does not hit. AC is 16 because I pulled off my shield.
Oh yeah!
So it bounces right off the shield. It's wooden. It's got the Celestia insignia as well as a bunch of vines all over it. It's painted, of course.
So you see as pieces of wood just go splintering off onto the metal grating at your feet and fall through the cracks and into the cesspool below. And the spear just kind of deflects up into the air and goes wild. The Kraul spinning around and bringing it back down and at the ready to strike once again, spear midpoint at your torso. And then we will go to Katroon for your second turn.
Katrine, she trumpets first. She's very upset now. And then she attempts to hit again with her staff. She says, "I don't like the way you're playing." Oh, that was an 8 and a 7. So I'm probably not gonna hit.
Plus 5? That's gonna give you a 13.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna hit now.
Yep.
Or it might.
Okay, so you reach out with your staff in a whirlwind, and the mushrooms just kind of, it ducks right underneath. And you're sort of thankful because your friends are on the staff, but this is a life or death situation. And, you know, some days mushrooms must be sacrificed.
Well, I mean, they can grow back.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. They'll grow back.
As long as there's a colony of spores, it's fine.
Yeah.
They can.
Okay, so you make a wild swing over the top of his head. You sort of catch one of his antennas, and he's like, ah! But it doesn't deal any actually significant damage. And we will go back to the top of the round with Cyrus for round 3.
Cyrus is getting real frustrated with the fact that he can't hit any of these buggers. So he pulls out his dagger in his offhand, realizing that he had made a mistake and didn't have both blades out at the same time. And he's going to lay into the one in front of Malachar and try to hit this thing. So the first one with the rapier is a 15 on the one in front of Malachar.
That will not hit.
Oh my! The second one with the dagger in the offhand is a 14. I'm done. I can't
You're
hit
dancing
anything.
with knives.
I literally. Yeah, okay.
I feel bad for
part
you.
is you look impressive doing it. These are a rather well armored critter. These are CR 1/2, which is a little above the standard challenge rating for the party, and you're really getting the impression. Your characters are really beginning to get the impression that they are severely outmatched in this combat. Next, we will have Malachar.
Alright, so Malachar's gonna kind of stride over to Strum and go, alright, you hit him with the red flame, I'll hit him with the blue flame, and ready, frostbite.
Okay, you ready
gonna-
frostbite for
Whatever Strum attacks.
or whatever's. Yes, I love it. Thank you. That's
Bros for life.
great ready to action.
We're gonna hit
No.
the red and the blue together for a sad life.
Next
I love it.
will be Suniva.
Okay, so the one I had been fighting is Bug Guts now. So I'm just going to go towards whichever the closest one to me is. And try and whack at it with my spear again. Same run as last time. Two-handed spear attack. Rolled 13 plus 5, so 13. Shoot, I can't math. I'm panicking. 18, right?
18 will hit.
Yeah. Ooh, and I rolled an 8 in damage for that. So,
Very nice.
11. That's 11 piercing. And then unarmed attack.
And this is which
Ooh,
one?
natural
Which one are you
20.
attacking?
Whichever was the one closest to me from like where I had been before. I think it might be the one nearest to Krav, actually. If I'm picturing things right still.
There's one on each side behind you. You took out the one in front of you, and so you turn around and there's one on each side of the entrance. One is attacking Malachar, who is gravely wounded, and one attacking Krav, who seems to be holding her own rather well.
I'm gonna keep running meat shield for Malachar as best I can, so I'll attack that one. Because I mean, I'm picturing like looking pretty rough right now. So.
Yes, the one attacking Malachar is definitely faring better than the one attacking Krav.
All right, and I rolled a natural 20 for that unarmed bonus attack.
Yes.
So
that will be twice the dice.
Twice the dice. So that was a 4, 3, so 4, 5, 6, 7. And then 5, so what? 12? Yeah, if I mathed right. I'm really bad at math. I studied English, guys.
7 and 5 is 12.
Yes.
So 8 and 12. So a total of 20 damage from Suniva at level 1.
Ooh.
I can't wait to see where your character goes. That is rough right there. I love it.
God damn.
I'm so jealous. Cyrus is just like, I mean, at least someone's doing their job today. He looks down at his hands.
Which set of hands?
All 4 hands.
All of them. They're all failing me miserably.
You know, one of the best parts about being a Simic is, you know, if your hands fail you, you could just get some new ones.
I might need to after this. This is not working out.
Okay. All right, and that will put us to Rav. Yeah, you have obliterated this one in front of Malakar. It is busting at the seams.
But it's not dead.
That's well tenderized and on a spit in the same round. Well, nice.
Okay.
Well done. Well done. Rav.
Who's left?
There is one directly in front of you, appears to be slightly wounded from the last strike you gave it. And then there is, from the strike that Katroon gave it on the first round for 11 points. And then there is the one who Suniva and Malakar are double teaming to sort of beat the snot out of.
Okay, I'm gonna attack the one that Katroon was attacking. If I can make it over there.
You can. All you have to do is turn around.
Whoop. Okay, she's gonna do a little spinning rear up. She's gonna rear up and spin. She's gonna come down with the warhammer. She's whacking them like rats.
Whack-a-moles.
Whack-a-moles. Here we go. And I still have this D6, and inspiration can be used not for attack damage. You said, right?
It can be used for damage.
You want to use it here.
For a hit.
Okay. Here we go. Don't misbehave.
No, inspiration can be used for a hit roll as well, right?
That's a nat 1, baby.
You're supposed to use it. Inspiration doesn't help that.
No,
inspiration won't help you there.
No.
That's a nat 1.
So as you rear up in the tunnels, the low ceilings sort of caught you off guard, and you bring your hammer forward, and it busts right into a steam main, and steam just goes blasting in every direction. And your hammer is thrown backwards, but you manage. Roll me a dex check to see if you hold on to it.
Okay. Oh, baby. That's an 18.
Yes, you managed. You've got a death grip on this thing. You catch it before it gets anywhere, and you've got this enormous amount of hot steam just blasting away right above your head as you come down, looking quite upset at this. This incident
I'm
in front of you.
angry.
Okay. And the next will be Strum.
Okay, I'm going for the Dragon Ball Z multi-attack type scenario with Malakar at the moment. So I'm going to strum on my lute, like yet again with the dramatic like diddly 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 diddly. Let it flare up with flame, and I swing it around and strike this big old baddie in front of my face with my good old Is It Pal.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, that's a natural 20.
Woo!
All right.
That's awesome.
And my reaction goes off. He also needs to make a con save.
So that's 2d8.
That will be a 17.
Okay, so the cold fire does nothing, but the hot fire is good.
So the hot fire does that is 13 points of damage.
13 points of damage. This one's been tenderized, put on a spit, and roasted. Again, you guys should start a restaurant. You have gone full chef on this one. It lays out on the grill in a steaming husk. as his carapace breaks open in sort of almost like pulling away the hood off of a new as your dinner arrives at the table. Very nice, very well struck, and excellent damage.
Oh, hey, Strum. That's called a rock lobster.
God damn it.
Cyrus throws himself into the whirlpool, and that's the end.
Well, that's going to be a good clip.
I love it.
All right.
And that's the name of the episode.
All players take 5
We'll see.
damage.
There's gonna be a couple contenders already, and we're not even close to that. So after Strum is going to be the final remaining Kraul, as its 2 of its companions have fallen and 2 have fled. It makes an additional attack before sort of backing away. It is going to. All right, first off, it's going to make an attack against Katrun, as that is what has been attacking, and as his orders are standing. That is only a 10 to hit, which, as we know, is not going to penetrate the nigh impenetrable fortress that is the Loxaton with his shield. So, that will bring us to Katrun's turn. How shall you retaliate? As he sort of is starting to begin, he's faltering, sort of stepping backwards a little bit, questioning his orders at this point. Katrun? Eris?
Oh
Did we
no.
lose her?
Did we lose her?
Oh no!
Sorry, I had to figure out how
there we
to
go.
unmute. I couldn't find my screen. I lost it around because I
That
was
was
looking
scary.
at my. I was looking at my character sheet and I lost the other screen. I'm sorry. Okay, so the flame looked like it was actually doing better than her hitting, right? Maybe no. Okay, you know what?
Well,
right
the
in
monk
front of her.
stepped in and did 20 points of damage.
Yeah. Okay. Just gonna. Well, I mean, she's super cool, and that's a different story. But Katrun's just gonna hit it again. She's not used to hitting things, so she's just gonna.
Whack.
Oh, that's a natural 18.
That will hit.
Plus 5. Yes. And then a d6, which is a 6. Plus 3 is 9. 9 bludgeoning
9
damage.
points of bludgeoning damage. And it has been tenderized. Well tenderized at this point. One hammer, one staff. And you sort of swing your staff around and it cracks right into where you would expect a rib cage to be. But it's sort of chitinous armor. It just caves in a little bit and you can see the crinkles. It immediately starts to weep this pale yellow greenish fluid down its side, and you can see where the carapace has torn open.
Katrun stares in horror. She's never killed anything.
It's like
Oh, baby.
except mushrooms.
This is the first time she's ever purposefully hit stuff.
Oh my
Like
god!
she doesn't. She's not a fighter. That's why she uses like entangle. But entangle wouldn't have worked because these are too big to do much there. So she just had to hit it.
I've also got to say,
there we go.
it's the same for Strum, and he's just killed 2 things.
Oh my god!
Oh boy!
We're gonna have to have a powwow after
They're
this.
they're gonna be processing some stuff.
We need group therapy.
Oh my goodness. I don't think Saniva's killed before either, but they're definitely like is what they've been training for.
Okay, so Katrun, you
Anyways.
have swung and done some serious damage to this thing. Cyrus, it is time for you to redeem yourself and make your contribution to this bloodshed.
they're all saying this is my first time killing everything, and I'm thinking of Cyrus's backstory here, and I'm like, wow, and he can't hit a freaking thing. Oh god! All right, I'm stabbing a thing. All right, whatever is closest to me, I'm gonna stab out with a rapier. God, I hope this works. 25, nat 20. God damn it!
Yes! Time.
With sneak attack, double the sneak attack, this thing's gonna be.
Yeah. So the rapier damage is a D8. So let me do the D8 real quick twice. So 2D8. So 10 for that, and then it'll be 2D6 because it's a D6 for sneak attack. That's 8 plus the 3 for the modifier, so 21 total damage.
Oh, 21 total damage.
21 total damage.
He's sitting there spinning his spear around and planning his next assault onto Katrunas. He has not been able to land a hit either. And suddenly, out of nowhere, comes you stepping into his space and like block it and sort of shoulder his spear out of the way and bring one blade dagger up across its neck. And you launch this rapier up through its chin and sort of push him into the void behind. And the rusted iron railing, he falls against it. And like, you see this look of fear in his eyes for a moment almost, as he begins chittering madly and scrabbling to grab on the grating below him. And it just gives way and he falls back into the water below to chase his more fortunate friend. Congratulations on your first victory with your new characters.
Yay!
That was a lethal encounter. That was a lethal encounter, according to CR calculations. Well,
oh boy,
done,
yeah.
Very strategic, and
it felt like it.
Some excellent rolls. Excellent rolls.
That was. Whew. All right.
We had what, 3 nat 20s over the course of that?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was ridiculous, guys. Wow.
Malachar pulls out his crossbow, it whirs a little bit, just punching around as he slumps to the floor from blood loss.
Oh god.
Help!
Yeah.
Oh, hold on. I have a healer's
don't worry,
kit. I do have a healer's kit. I will. Well, I mean, you don't really need it that much.
Healer's kit is primarily around stabilizing someone.
Scrum kind of just like hops up a little bit, and he just kind of lays his hand upon Malachar and says, like, "Don't worry, pal. I got your back." And I will pump a cure wounds into him.
Oh,
so that's
so
1d8 plus 3. So that is that's an 8. That's a max. So that is 11 points of hit. Yeah, you're back to full. There we go.
Very nice. As you're sort of laying your hand onto him,
go, pal,
and healing him up, and the vigor and the color seems to return to his face, and the wound closes up, but cannot disguise the rent in his robes and the blood stain that goes down his side. And you begin with a quiet look at one another and realize just how close that was and what could have happened here. And at that moment, you hear a whistling from the corridor down behind you from which you came. And out steps your old friend Uzrin. Hey, guys, you didn't follow me. It's this way. Come on. How did you end up
I'm
over
sorry,
here?
pal. We got a little lost.
Well, you went ahead of us, you know?
Well, I said this way. Come on. Why is everybody looking so tired?
I just help Malachar up to his feet.
Yeah.
I've got a place along the way you can get some rest, but for real,
yeah,
you guys are.
Cyrus picks up his bow and is just like, well, I guess we are a little beat up.
Yeah, I think that is a good idea.
Probably still getting blasted with steam. She's just like...
As you're looking around, and you're quite certain at this point that this is a characteristic of Uzrin, he turns on his heel and begins marching, waddling down the path, without looking over his shoulder, and just starts prattling on, talking about this and that one time where you got lost down here and
Oh, really? Tell me about that. Oh, wow, that's amazing. Oh, jeez.
You guys, I
Sounds
really
thrilling.
like him.
after a few turns, he pulls you off into a small corridor off the side, unlocks a door, and shows you into a smallish, what appears to be maybe a break room. There's a table with some cards laid out in the center of it, and a few cots off to the side. Where it says, "No, I don't have very long. I'm gonna head out. But if you venture out from here, just follow the steam vent. It'll take you to Dead Chasm, okay? The Dead Bridge Chasm is right along the steam vent. You can't possibly go wrong. Unless you go up the steam vent. Follow the way of the steam inside the pipe, which you don't know which is. Do any of you know anything about steam works?
Actually, I might. Yeah, I might know a few.
Roll me.
Oh God.
What do we want to roll?
A no check. Who do you know check?
You'll have advantage on a check. We'll call it man. All these skills from previous editions. I'm like engineering.
History.
Engineering. Nope.
History.
Nope. It's gonna be survival.
Survival.
It's gonna be survival.
Could it be
That's a good
intelligence-based
load.
survival?
What's that?
Could it be intelligence-based survival?
I like that. I like that very much. As any skill can be based off of any modifier any ability modifier in the game. Unless you shake your head no, in which case the dice turn and rebel against you.
Yep, that's still a 7. I'm afraid.
Oh no!
Hey,
boy.
Mallory, I got a 14.
You are certain you know which way the steam is flowing through these vents based on the direction of the bolts. However, looking up at them, some jerk has bolted these things coming from both directions, and they didn't follow the standard schematic, so you're not really sure what they're doing. However, Melikar's like, oh, yeah, no, you have to follow the direction that the pipe is going, and they're clearly oriented to socket into one another, and you have to go with the flow, not against the flow.
You see, our lovely friend Krav did a wonderful job doing a steam pressure test on the pipe outside, so we were able to tell which direction it went from that easily. Thank you, Krav. That was very useful.
Is that why I'm getting a call in this area? Are you guys just going to keep moving around and breaking up the place?
I know that was the crawl. You know how horrible they are.
Well, I'm going to get to repair that before we lose steam on some engine somewhere and it starts breaking down. Don't wreck my place. He turns around and he leaves the door unlocked behind him and heads back to make repairs upon the steam vent that Krav so eloquently persuaded to take some pressure off. Literally blow off some steam.
Well done, Sorry. Well done.
Cyrus again returns to the swirling depths and jumps in. That's it.
Oh, no.
Frothy black death.
Okay. So you have a reasonably safe space to take a short rest or a long rest should you choose. What will the party do in their available downtime?
I'm just gonna casually play some music for everyone.
I'm just not sure we can.
Social distortion, right?
Yeah. It's having a bit of fun.
I'm not sure we can really afford to wait 8 hours down here. Those kids' parents.
Let's
I'm of the
just take a
same
little
mind.
breather. I think so too. Just take a little bit of a rest, catch our breaths. If anybody would like to join me for some meditations, I almost certainly welcome to. And Suneva will sit down like cross-legged on the floor and meditate for a while.
Okay.
Yeah.
So will this be a short rest, or a long rest?
Short.
Short.
I think. Yeah.
Short rest. Excellent. Short rest. If anybody, I believe you will not have arcane recovery until level 2 as a wizard, correct?
No, it's level 1. You don't get your archetype till 2.
Okay. So you can use arcane recovery to recover 1 spell, correct?
Yep.
On a short rest.
Mhm.
That will be fantastic. And that,
Once per day.
what is once per day, and it has to be of what level?
So it's
Minimal level
equal
1.
to half your wizard level rounded up. So right now, half of 1 rounded up is 1. And at higher levels, when it's more, it can be. If you have 2 slots you're gaining, you could do 2 first levels or 1 second level. Right now, it's just 1 first level.
Excellent. As well, everybody else has the option to use a hit die. This is one of the most often overlooked ways for low-level characters to heal. Is during a short rest, you can take 1 die that is your hit die, depending on your class. The same die that you use to roll hit points in the first place, to roll it during a short rest and recover that many hit points, plus your Constitution modifier. So if anybody would like to recover anything who's not at full hit point, I think you guys are all at full hit point.
I think we're all good at this point.
I'm good.
I think I'm the only one who got wrecked, and if I'd realized we're getting a short rest so easily, I wouldn't have asked Jimmy to heal me quite so fervently.
Nah, it's fine. I've still got some spells.
You caught me being a merciful DM. Place to rest after a deadly encounter that you should not have
I'm used to Corey just mercilessly cutting our throats repetitively.
I mean, last campaign, I think I played with Nat. I mean, you had to reroll 4 times, right?
Oh yeah. None of our characters definitely never died at all, even once.
So, okay, after that ominous bit of news, you sort of leisurely take a leisurely hour and sort of lay around and read up a bit, catch your breath, and what would you like to do now? You sort of wanted to snack on some things. Katrun would like to.
Katrun would like to look around the room at all of the anything in there, particularly any plant life, fungus, moss, anything.
There is a rather well-stocked mushroom farm in here. The steam down here, along with the readily available darkness and humidity just of the warmth of the area, is prime for fungal growth. So a lot of these subterranean cityworks dwelling creatures subsist on a diet primarily of mushroom. So there is a wide selection of different types of mushroom available in planters vertically farmed along the wall.
Perfect. Katrun just kind of steps up against the wall and quietly talks to it, but she tries to kind of hide it so people don't realize she's talking to the flora. So she's just like, "Hey, is there a lot of people coming around here?" Yeah. But not.
And this is the druid ability to...
Just talking.
Weird. Just talking.
No, you don't have to.
I don't have commune with plants. I'm not a furbolg. I'm not a gnome. She's just chatting.
Just the natural druid ability to be awkward.
Yep. Better when you love them.
I mean, really, guys. Sometimes plants can be very, very, very helpful. You know, the way that this mushroom is growing here, I can tell the different kind of atmosphere it's been grown in. It's this.
The only atmosphere I've felt down here is dankness, some grossness. I got my nice coat's all scuffed up now. I mean, let's take our little rest here, but sooner we're out of this place, the better.
I agree.
Okay. And with that, you guys sort of gather up your belongings and head back into the hallway. The strobing of the blue neon light overhead is sort of, you see, going off into the distance with the straightaway like this. You can see it's actually pulsing along it in tracers almost, going in both directions. You can see that there are sends and returns in these arcane conduits. The steam piping does appear to be leading towards the right.
Cat-Run, can you remember where that trail you were following with the parents led off to?
Do I remember?
Yeah, I mean, yes, your character can easily pick the trail back up. You're only a few turns away from where you were attacked.
Yeah.
Okay. I wasn't sure how far we'd gone from all of that. So, okay.
Do we want to follow the steam pipe to the chasm or the smell trail? They honestly might go in the same direction.
They do not.
Well, I was... I was kind of thinking that. I lost my voice. The nose knows. Oh, well, the nose always knows. Thank you. Well, I was kind of thinking that, and what?
So we already named an episode that. We can't do it again.
No.
No, I'm suggesting we follow the nose for the path, not the steam conduit.
Oh wow. I mean, it's failed before, you know. But yeah, we can do that. But if we think it's going to the same place, then we don't have to decide yet.
So you follow the trail of the steam going back towards Deadbridge Chasm until you rejoin the path of the parent's spell, and it leads you off to the east for what feels like maybe half an hour. You're wandering through these tunnels, and opening before you as the tunnels begin to get lighter and lighter in the sort of grinding and the ratcheting sounds sort of diminish to into the background behind you. You emerge onto a ledge overlooking Deadbridge Chasm, and you're able to see the sky.
Well, that's a pleasant sight. It's been a little bit too long down there.
In front of you, there is a slight spattering of blood leading into the tunnel in the direction you've come.
Well, that's not so pleasant.
No, but it's what we came here to find.
Here's where they came out now. Well, they came in. They came in this way. Now we follow it back.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean...
Will it be easier for you to follow the scent now that there's some fresh trail for you to...
Oh no.
We getting a little catchy here.
Okay.
Sam is frozen.
That's right there. Okay, so... Alright, so you've identified the entrance where they've come into the city works from Deadbridge Chasm, and you are going to make your way back towards the direction of the blood trail. Is that correct?
Yeah.
And resume your tracking.
We gotta find the kid's parents, man.
I have a minor
suggestion. About that.
I have a minor suggestion for the group. We might want to begin attempting to be quiet.
I agree. I'm down for that.
A mild suggestion.
Quieter the better.
Okay. So, roll me another survival check. Just to maintain your tracking.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy.
So I got a natural 2, and I got a 15.
Okay.
Total?
Oh my god.
Total or?
Well, I got... Oh, gosh! That cat. Okay, I got a natural 2 on the dice, and I also got a natural 15 on the dice. So, plus my survival, which is wisdom, plus my proficiency, that's a +5, so a natural 20.
Unnatural.
Unnatural.
An unnatural
So
20. I summoned it from the dead.
20.
I don't know. Gosh, I don't know. It's not a natural 20, so it must be
a dirty
unnatural.
20.
The
Dirty
synthetic
20.
20.
Dirty's natural too. I'm a
Okay,
spore
so-
druid. Come on, it's dirt.
Come on, it's dirt.
And you track it, the scent for another half an hour, and you're beginning to notice that you're coming into, after you pass this trail, this scent bringing you back to the cistern that you had gone through before, with the whirlpool crashing below, and you see not just the blood that you're trailing now, but Malakar's blood spraying across the ground where he was struck with a spear. And
Fond memories.
Oh, hey, that's yours.
and it goes in a different direction than the Death Priest went. It angles off towards the right.
I follow that.
After a few more turns, you find yourself coming into more of a residential area. The walls begin to build up with some sort of waxy gunk, and the tunnels are pockmarked with scratches and gouges where their spine-like legs are digging into the walls, and you begin to see more and more Kraul going about their day-to-day life. None of them seem to be particularly aggressive at the moment, but there are a lot of well-armed Kraul around. You get the impression are sort of a soldier caste would attack if you were to do something untoward the community.
The trail keeps going?
The trail continues through the midst, though the scent of the individual Kraul that you were tracking is gone, completely lost mid the residential area. However, the sort of pheromone scent of all of the chemical waft that's coming out of this area is just overpowering. Even those of you without super extreme scent abilities can really pick up on this smell.
Well, we could try walking through their very city, or we can see if that bigger fella back there that walked down the other way has anything to say. See if we can't find him.
Well,
Do you think he is related to the trail we are trying to follow?
All I know is that we need to at least single one of these people out and ask some questions, but I don't know Kraul. But maybe one of the... Does anyone know Kraul?
Does anybody,
Not really.
Did anybody see any non-Krauls in there? I don't see any. Yes, I do.
In fact,
nope.
You would know enough, as common knowledge would dictate, you know enough that you've never known a Kraul that could speak common, or anybody who wasn't a Kraul who could make those noises.
Okay. Well, we can go wandering through their city and take our chances here, but looks like Cat Run's lost the trail. Or try to
You can
find a
still
way
pick up
around.
the scent of the parents. You
okay.
can still detect the parents. She cannot detect the individual Kraul.
I missed that. Sorry.
Oh, yeah.
No,
So
that would be
that.
signature
Funny
of an
part is
essential ability.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
We followed
this
that.
is the funny part is that once we get into the city, nobody can talk, and nobody
Well, we
looks
just don't
like
make
them.
many waves. Krav, you keep that big stick of yours all bundled up and we'll be fine.
Kraul kind of secures it to her back and crosses her arms.
As you make your way through the hive, you can see that in this portion that's sort of hollowed out, after maybe a quarter mile or so, it really begins to open up, and it's this enormous cavern that is sort of wax coated on all the walls, and there's sort of these hanging structures and pods that the Kraul are really just climbing all over, hanging from ceilings and walking up and down the walls. The streets don't all fall to the bottom. There are pools along the ground of steaming fluids that are yellowish green and extremely acrid and bubbling as you walk past them. This terrible stench comes up from the ground. And as you're walking along this path, I need a marching order.
I'm first.
You're doing the sniffer.
I will take up the yes and try to see if looks like we are being followed or anything.
Okay, so that's Katrina up front. Suneva, where did you say you are?
I'll be in the back. I'll be last. Unless somebody else wanted to do that.
That is a good place for you as a very combat capable individual.
I'll be in front of Suneva.
Nat looks a little different. That's
I was gonna say Nat looks different.
Oh,
We got a surprise guest.
Yes, polymorph.
Time.
okay.
Oh, well, you know what?
Cyrus,
Disguise self is a really handy spell.
Cyrus
You're changing.
Did I get replaced again?
Again.
Yeah.
Yep. Cyrus, where are you?
I'll say second.
Second. Okay.
Yeah.
Nat, where are you in marching order?
I'll be as close to middle as is easy.
Same.
All right.
I'm a very comfortable middle.
And that will put Krav second to the back.
Yep.
Perfect. I love it. All of our primary meleeers are in the back of the party. And our rangers are up front.
We're okay.
Melee is all I have right now.
Take him.
Melee is kind of all I have right now, though, so it kind of works.
We're just walking around. It's fine.
Yeah.
What
Maybe a
could go
little
wrong?
tactical. Yeah. So, DM, Cyrus looks around while we're walking. Do we lose Corey too?
Did he freeze? Yeah. Oh, there he is, I think.
Oh no.
Okay, he's back.
Oh, wait, no, just kidding. I think we lost him again. Oh no.
He just
Let's put a
moved.
curse on this
Once.
game.
Suneva just starts like whistling really loudly. Like...
Oh no, don't do that. We're trying to...
Wait, no.
Low-key.
He's back.
She whistles quieter. Everybody's
We need
like,
a DC that time.
So yeah, DM, while we're walking, if we're continuing walking, Cyrus would like to take a look around and see, well, how much attention is our little conglomeration pulling here?
You're not really the only bipedal people in the region. It is still a portion of the city. There are Simic around. There are Gruul around. There's actually a tribe of centaurs in the city here. It's not a Kraul exclusive area, though it is predominantly Kraul here.
Okay.
When you were above ground in Midori Park, it was predominantly Goblin, and this is a predominantly Kraul area. I will say that the sort of yellowish fog that's in the area that seems to be bubbling out of these pools around you has this noxious odor to it that you're not as familiar with, but you have heard can be toxic over long periods of time. So, as you sort of wind your way between these pools, limited to the ground, unlike most of the denizens of this region that seem to be living on every available surface in this cavern. I'm going to need a dexterity check from Katrun.
Ooh.
Yeah.
More accurately, a dexterity saving throw. As you sort of step into a softer, waxier portion of the floor, and your rounded foot just sort of sinks in, and immediately this yellowish liquid is gassing and oozing off next to you, sort of splashes towards your leg.
And I roll a 6 plus my dex save, which is a 1, so I get a 7. And Katrun actually kind of starts panicking a little bit. She, I assume, is stuck, right?
No, it splashes onto your leg, and this sort of acrid stench wafts up at you, and you immediately feel an itch and a burn on your leg, and you pull it out, and it's like sort of like steaming away in acid. You take 1d4 points of damage. That will be 2 points of damage.
Ouch.
Ouch.
Acid damage.
Ouchie.
Traps. Urban traps.
Oh no, that hurt.
Okay.
Oh no!
Watch out for those.
So the pools around you look much more ominous and threatening, and you sort of you're checking how firm the wax is in front of you before you're putting your full weight on it, and you're following this scent as you're walking through. And I need another tracking check from you, another survival check.
That is an 11 plus 5 is 16.
So it's sort of a waft of this stench comes across, and you lose the scent for a moment, but regain it very quickly. You recognize that there is a potential for you to lose your ability to smell things easily in this area, and you keep moving through quickly and cautiously. And you make your way to a more it seems to be a less traveled area as you're following this scent through the streets and through the warrens that is this area. And it almost becomes like vertical columns, like in a beehive of the walls, each having hives in cones into them. And you come to sort of a warehousing area, and the scent stops at a waxed over nest, I guess. It looks very much like a beehive.
Oh, well, here's our stop right here. Good luck cracking that one.
As you look around, there are Kraul. You appear to be working on these wax structures in every direction. There are maybe 20 to 30 of them within sight.
I'm probably going to continue after that, moving along slowly to give them time to talk and us not look quite so suspicious standing outside this dude's house. I mean,
so there's definitely a gap in between the entrances into these, and they're not exactly like beehive in proximity to one another. This is a warehousing zone. You get the impression. There is probably a large area behind the door of this section. It's not just like a little confined incubation chamber like in a beehive.
Sure. Do we see windows of any kind? Any way to see inside? Any way to sneaky get a glance?
The wax is remarkably translucent and thin in some areas, and you sort of pull yourself up to this rounded inner area in the wax, and you can make out shadow on the other side of it. Give me a perception check.
All right. Let's see. My perception is... I actually lost that page. Oh, good. At least I'm not... There it is. Perception is a +1. So...
Okay, so you have a 12 wisdom, so you have +1. Are you
+1.
Proficient in perception?
I am not.
Okay.
I am not. So... 16?
That's very respectable for a +1. Very nice, very nice. So you sort of lean up against this translucent wax and you peer through, and you can see there are some shadows moving around inside. The place does not appear to be abandoned. It's very, very dark in there, though. I mean, like, there's some natural light coming in from above, you can tell, because there's like moving things, and you can see dark areas underneath them that are probably shadows of the things that are moving through there. You're not exactly sure what it is you're looking at on the other side.
Okay, but you said it looks like some natural light was coming through from the top? Okay.
Yeah, some sort of light. It appears to be like a yellowish glow.
Okay. I kind of just turned to the group, and I guess we're trying to be as unobtrusive as possible. Well, can't really tell for much through this wax.
You try to break the wax?
Yeah, there's some movement on the other side of that. I don't know if we want to... I mean, maybe we can sneak a little pinhole there, but...
Pulls out hammer and crowbar? What was that?
Well, I don't know about all that.
Oh.
Zeneva, you're muted.
Sorry, I was coughing before and I forgot I was still muted from it. Do we see like traffic coming like around this area? Does it seem like this is like a particularly busy hive hub
Very
thing?
much so not busy.
Okay.
There are 25 to 30 within sight, but only because you could see for so far. It's almost a mile up and in the distance from away from you at these vertical shafts that are like almost parallel walls, like maybe a corridor of streets without the side streets, you know, and maybe like in the downtown in a major metropolitan area. And they crawl or climbing up and down what would be the sides of the buildings.
That's so
easy
cool.
enough to do is it easy enough to do like a quick walk around in the building to see if there's like anything else that maybe like an opening in the back or something, like if there's like a loading area or anything of that nature?
So there's like the main front where you are now, and it does appear that there are like city block pillar structures around here. And you sort of wander around, peer around the sides and everything, and you're not able to determine any other means of egress from this side. If you wish to go to the alley behind, we could potentially...
Yeah, so Cyrus turns to the group. I think if we maybe do a quick run around here and see if there's any openings on the other side. Can't get much from this side here. I'd like to be able to see what's going on before we, take that crowbar and hammer to any use.
Malachar gingerly retracts them into his backpack.
Now, I think if we just
collapsible crowbar.
So what Malachar thinks is everything attaches to his backpack apparatus, even if they are less useful because of it. It's fun.
All right, so who is going to be making their way around the backside of the building?
Cyrus will do it.
Geneva,
if you want to jump on board.
I can also
go. Such a good team.
And Strum, you make your way to the backside of the building, and you peer around, and there is some form of, maybe not a dock structure, but there is a larger opening in the backside of the building. And there appear to be, they're not really, they're almost like pallets, but they're just made of floating wax discs. They appear to be, well, not floating necessarily, but highly greased along the bottom, and they can be easily pushed along. On them, you see that there is sort of a rigid structure that has been built. It's been waxed on all sides, and it's been webbed in around something cylindrical, and you're not certain what it is.
Well, Strum,
it's ovoid. We'll say it's ovoid. More than
Strum, you got some magical affinity. That look like anything to you?
You are in plain sight of inside of the building, just so you know. There's nobody there who can see you at present, but you are in front of an open door.
Okay.
I'd probably have
Okay.
I'd probably have to get a little bit closer to it to have an actual look.
Yeah. Do we see anyone? So they currently can't see us. Do we see anyone like around on the inside that hasn't noticed us yet, or like, can I get a creature count on who's inside?
You're not seeing anything around from
Nothing.
inside.
Well, we might be able to take a sneaky little look. See, now if y'all can be quiet.
I'm down for that.
I could do my best.
All right, let's see if we can get a closer look. I think we're gonna make some stealth rolls, DM.
Stealth rolls.
Yeah, let's go. Stealth roll.
Wrong.
All right.
I am proficient in stealth.
Me too.
Oh, that's good.
More than 10. I got 15.
18.
18?
Yeah.
26.
10 plus 5.
26. Okay.
26.
Those are all sufficient for you all to slip up onto the raised floor and into the back of the building, relatively unnoticed, as there is nobody in the immediate vicinity. And you get closer to this pallet-like structure, and as you get closer, you notice that it just sort of throbs for a moment. And as you look around, you start to see that there is a line of them going out and around a corner. And you're looking where they're at. You're seeing this sort of conveyor-like process. And you're seeing that there are cages, and they're empty. And in these cages, there are manacles. And then you look over, and there's this enormous, like, strutted structure that's going up the wall. It's almost like a bulbous tube. And as your eyes follow it up, there's this enormous crawl structure that is almost part of the room, and it has these spear-like legs that are just kind of like waving around on the ceiling. And there's this enormous head glaring down at all of you.
Oh my god!
And that's where we're going to leave it for the moment.
Oh,
No.
I love Alien.
Oh, we were
I'm borrowing heavily from Alien on this one. Yes, I love the Alien visuals. And the Crawl Death piece gave me an inspiration, and I rolled with it.
I love it.
Might not be
wrong,
Ravnica canon, but darn it, it is now for this
It
game.
is now.
Crawl
I love
Death
it.
Queen? That's
Crawl
all
Death
I could think.
Queen?
Crawl
Oh.
Death Queen? It's,
Oh my gosh.
that's super. Oh, I love it. Wait, did it see me?
God.
I need to know. I need to know if Sneak Squad got
It
spotted.
sounds like
sounds
like all of
got
us.
seen.
I mean, yeah, if you walk out in the
Oh,
open,
We
it
don't
was looking down.
know if it won't see us. We'll
You got
just
a
level
15
3.
stealth. We'll have to wait until next week to find out whether it has spotted you.
Gosh.
I know,
Wait,
the
does
terrible
that mean
tale
we
of
have to come again
cliffhangers.
next week?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I mean, you
okay.
gotta be here. Monday's 2 o'clock Eastern, that's where it's at. Unless my boss
2 o'clock
decides to
Eastern.
make me stick around for an hour.
Okay,
after.
you know what, Corey? I'll make a deal with you. How about Mondays at 5 Eastern?
Yeah, all right. I said 2 Eastern. It's 5 Eastern. 2 Pacific, yes. You are correct.
No.
It's 2 for us. It's 2 for me and Corey.
Yeah,
And me.
And for Nat.
I'm just teasing.
West
Yeah.
Coasters.
I'm just gonna laugh in British at this point.
Your
It's 1
stack is your
a.m. here.
landlocked, Joel.
Thank you very much for making that correction. People would have been here for an entirely different stream, wondering what on earth is going on. What is happening to our poor heroes? And watch an entirely different stream. But so 5 o'clock Eastern on Mondays. Come back and see us. And thank you all. Did we hit our target on retweets? Did we do a giveaway?
We did. Yeah, we did a giveaway
Yeah,
earlier.
yes. Yeah.
Yeah,
I love it.
Absolutely.
I love it. All right, and shout out. Let us know. Catch those clips on Twitch and post them up there, and let us know what you think the episode name should be. All right, and we will see you all next week.
Bye.